Varsity Stadium. In Toronto, the Alberta Golden Bears versus the Ottawa GGs. Brought to you by Labatt's, Brewers of 50, Blue and Special Light.
Welcome to the excitement of College Bowl 80. And let me tell you, it is an exciting time. There's nothing like a championship intercollegiate football game such as we have going this afternoon. We've got pretty good weather for this game also. And as far as the field is concerned, not bad considering the fact there's been rain and snow over the past few days. A little greasy in the center, and so the teams will try to stay away from that. But overall, this has been a great week of festivities. We're looking forward to a great football game between two very evenly contested teams. Two clubs that have never met before, but are considered amongst the strongest to ever come out of the university ranks. And I know my partners are extremely excited about this College Bowl 80 as well. So why don't we go up and talk to them and hear from them about the two clubs. I refer to Pat Marsden and Mike Wadsworth.
Well, thank you, Bill, and hello, everybody from coast to coast in Canada. Bill talked about the atmosphere. It has been sensational all week, and I'll tell you, it's magnetic right now. We're in the heart of downtown Toronto. That's where Varsity Stadium is located. It's an atmosphere that is unlike anything else that I've ever experienced, and I'm sure for those of you seeing your first college football game, you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the caliber of play. Mike, the University of Alberta Golden Bears had a great season. They ended up tied with the University of Calgary. They knocked off Calgary to win the West. Then they did a number on the University of Western Ontario. They are a force to be reckoned with.
Well, they wound up with a #1 ranking, Pat, and deservedly so. Their offense is an exciting one that averaged just under 25 points per game. So let's take a look right now at some of their personnel. To begin with, they have an outstanding offensive line, anchored by right guard Ben Durr. Center Percy Gendel will be a very important factor in this game for reasons that Frank Rigney will discuss later. They also have an outstanding backfield. Number 12, Forrest Kennard, will be their starting quarterback. He's completed 51.4% of his passes, over 1,300 yards in passing and 10 touchdowns. Sean Keogh, the outstanding tailback from the Western Conference, was the most valuable player nominee from that particular division and narrowly lost out to Greg Marshall from Western. The receivers, again, Peter Oshenko, the leading man in the corps, but if he's going to be double covered this afternoon as we expect, they can go to Dave Brown and Mike Wolfram, also excellent hands, so they have a lot of weapons in their artillery.
Well, you know, this is our first opportunity of seeing both these clubs in action, too, but I am particularly interested in seeing Sean Keogh, a kid they tell me could step in and play in the backfield of any club in any league. He's got good speed, catches the ball well, and they say he just is an outstanding prospect. And so is Oshenko, their receiver, as Mike pointed out. They say he's in the class of Brian Fryer, Marco Sinkar, and Joe Poplowski, all of whom went to the University of Alberta. But now, let's turn to the Eastern champions, because they're a formidable lineup as well. Mike, let's talk about the University of Ottawa GGs.
Well, the Ottawa GGs wound up ranked 4th, but they knocked off Acadia Axman, who were 2nd ranked and the defending bowl champion, so you know that they have to be reckoned with. Their center, Mike Reed, also will be a big man this afternoon, as will left tackle Warner Miles, because they rely upon them to pave the way for their two big running backs, Mike Giftopoulos and Brock Bundy. But Rick Smith, their quarterback, will be the key to their offense. There's no question. He was the most valuable player in his conference. He completed over 60% of his passes for 5 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards in passing. But talking about the passing game, we must take a look, of course, at the receivers. All-Canadian Joel Baldwin, number 23, led the squad with 30 receptions and 1 touchdown. If he gets a lot of attention, then Coach Cam Innes feels that Don Burns, number 18, their wide receiver to the other side, could run with any receiver in any conference, and we'll look for him this afternoon.
Well, you know, college football has really evolved over the last number of years. The Ottawa GGs are typical of that. They like to throw the ball 3 out of 4 down, so you know we're going to have a lot of passing. You know that the University of Alberta Golden Bears are the top-ranked team in the nation coming into this ball game, so anything can happen. But right now, we want to find out about some of those keys defensively. Let's go down to our cohort, Frank Rigney.
Well, thanks very much, Pat. There's a lot of outstanding defensive players that are going to be on that field this afternoon. One of them has a name that's very familiar to football fans across Canada. Rolly Miles Jr., number 55. He'll be playing the nose guard for the University of Alberta, and watch his quickness. He's a great one. Behind him, leading a linebacking core that has done an outstanding job all year long, Lawrence Nagy, number 56. They're an excellent unit. The front seven of the University of Alberta may give them a big edge defensively. If you turn around and look at the GG's, young Boyd Young was the All-Canadian Shenley Award winner for the lineman in his conference. He also is a nose guard and does an excellent job of pursuit. Defensively also, Mike Gallagher, the safety, number 20, really leads a defensive backfield that may shut off the University of Alberta passing game. However, they like to run the football about equally as well. So we're really looking forward to what should be a very exciting football game here this afternoon. And the college game of 1980 will continue in just a moment.
Well, it's as simple as this. The #1 college football team in 1980 will be decided here this afternoon. The final rankings showed that the University of Alberta Golden Bears were top-ranked. The University of Ottawa GGs finished 4th. Above them were the Acadia Axemen and the University of Western Ontario. However, both those clubs fell by the wayside. The University of Western Ontario lost to the University of Alberta, and Ottawa U knocked off Acadia last weekend in the Atlantic Bowl to get to this afternoon's big game. And I'll tell you, these young fellas are excited, as well they should be, because by the time this afternoon is finished, we will know the group that should be called #1.
It's hard to say what to look for with the respective teams, Pat, for the simple reason that they have never played against one another previously. But looking at past performance, the Golden Bears have an extremely well-balanced attack. Over the season, they gained 1,390 yards rushing and scored 12 touchdowns by that route. Passing, 1,458 yards, 10 touchdowns, so you can't get it any closer than that. The Ottawa GGs, on the other hand, favor the pass, as you point out, but it's a short passing game. Rick Smitch, in all of his passing, averaged about 7 yards per completion.
All right, let's find out now. The coin toss is taking place at center field to decide which team will kick off, which will receive, and the ends that they will... All right, the University of Alberta will receive. Ottawa U will be kicking off. The handshake before the battle begins. And it's the kind of a game that everybody is looking forward to. This little fella's only 5'6", throws the ball like he's 6'2". I'm referring to the quarterback of the University of Alberta Golden Bears, number 12, Forrest Kennard. And if that name sounds familiar, why, of course, he is a brother of the kicker of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Twin brother.
Right. As a matter of fact, identical twin. However, I believe he's just a fraction of an inch shorter.
I think Trevor has a stronger right leg.
The referee, for this afternoon's ball game is Ken Green from Scarborough. The other officials are Wayne Fleming, Wayne Lang, Phil Lassaline, and Ron Walsh. We're all set, so we'll have the playing of our national anthem. Opening kickoff for you as College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. It was the referee in the last Can-Am Bowl played in Florida. Is our referee this afternoon. Mr. Green comes from Scarborough, Ontario, and he will be in charge of the festivities here today as the University of Alberta Golden Bears will send back number 19, Glenn Music, and number 31, Sean Keogh, to receive the opening kickoff from number 71, Andy Katz of the University of Ottawa GGs. GGs, what does it mean? Well, it's very simple. Ottawa U's colors are garnet and gray, and that's where the name is derived.
Is there not, Pat?
Well, there are a lot of famous ones. Which one are you referring to?
I don't think it's Mike or myself.
We were there for a few years. Andy Katz is set. So are McGee and Keogh. You can feel the electricity in the air. Both these clubs want to get this opening kickoff with over. The first hits are the important ones, and they're about to come right now. McGee from his 14-yard line. Then Music. And Music is out over the 25 to the 27. As Andy Katz, the kicker, was down to make the tackle for the University of Ottawa. 51-yard kickoff, a 12-yard return. And this is the way that the Alberta Golden Bears will line up. Kennard is the quarterback with Keogh and Pollich as the running backs. And there's a look at the receivers. Ashenko 15 and Brown 17 are the ones to particularly keep an eye on. And this is Keogh. Keogh to about the 35-yard line for a gain of 4, upended by Kevin Laux, number 51, the linebacker on the right side for the University of Ottawa. Mike mentioned in the pregame show that the Golden Bears like to run as well as pass equally. They came out running. Their head coach, Jim Donlevy, said, we're a tough club to read on first down. Well, the GGs read it fairly well because they contained Keogh to a 4-yard advance. There's a look at the Ottawa defensive alignment, and you see that number 61, Boyd Young, is their nose guard. Kennard on second down, fires it out. The pass is complete to number 77, Mike Wolfram, and the tackle is made by Peter Huber, number 21, but it will be an Alberta first down.
I'll tell you, Wolfram, who is about 6'5", gives an excellent target to the very diminutive Alberta quarterback, Kennard. First reception of the afternoon, and Pat, you know, it's a very unusual situation. Head coach Jim Donlevy, of course, is up here in the press box. He likes to spot and look at the ball game from there. Jim Lazaruk, his offensive coordinator, is actually running things from down at field level. So the head coach is helping from up top.
It is first down Alberta at their 45. The give is to the fullback, Rick Pollich. And Pollich crosses the 45, gets to about the 48 for a gain of 3 before he's upended by Paul Timler, number 41, and Peter Huber, number 21.
You can expect the Golden Bears will run a great deal on first down, Pat, and why not with a running back like Sean Keogh, who sports an outstanding 6.9-yard average per carry. You have to use that threat when you have it.
It is 2nd and 7, Alberta from their 48-yard line. Kennard puts it up, and the reception is made by Peter Ashenko for the first down, his first reception of the ball game, and the Alberta drive continues as Brian Towers, number 12, was there to make the stop for Ottawa, but it was a 10-yard advance for the outstanding receiver of the Golden Bears, Peter Ashenko.
Mike, I think you'll see that the Alberta Golden Bears, when they do run, will try to run off tackle or more to the outside, trying to stay away from Boyd Young, the middle nose guard that we talked about in the pregame show, number 61. They feel they can run a little more effectively away from him.
Kennard is on the move. Now sets up, fires, and it's over the head of the intended receiver, number 17, Dave Brown. And excuse me,
John. Pat, I was just going to say it appeared to me as if the pattern was not well executed because both Brown and running back Sean Keogh, who came out of the backfield, wound up together and attracted a crowd. But when you talk about this Golden Bear passing game, what I'm impressed by is how it is Forrest Kennard gets rid of that ball very quickly. He may only be 5'6", but he doesn't give those defensive linemen an opportunity to come in on top of him and get those hands up. He's releasing quickly and not letting the rush get to him.
Another passing situation for Kennard, 2nd and 10 from the University of Ottawa 54-yard line. Here comes the blitz. The pass is complete to Ashenko, and he will score the first touchdown of College Bowl 1980. A perfect throw from quarterback Forrest Kennard. A beautiful reception by Peter Ashenko, who got in behind the University of Ottawa secondary, and the Golden Bears have struck.
Pat, I was sorry to interrupt you during the actual play-by-play there, but Mike Gallagher, the all-Canadian safety of the Ottawa GGs, is caught on a blitz here. You'll see him coming into the right side of your screen. He's number 20, and there's absolutely no assistance down the middle to help defensively against that long strike.
Well, it was man-to-man coverage. Rob Tallyho was the cornerback to that side. And it was just a great job by Yashchenko beating the corner man. And what a job by Forrest Kennard, though, Frank. Reading that blitz right now, had the perfect call to it. Whether or not he had audible at the line, of course, we could only guess from here, but you couldn't match a better offensive play to go with the blitz that was coming at him.
He certainly read it very quickly and got rid of that football.
Frank Flores will try the point after, as the Alberta Golden Bears, on their first possession, go the distance. The point after is good. The Golden Bears are out in front, 7-0.
Isolation director Nick Volpe expected that Peter Yashchenko would be used. He's the favorite receiver for Forrest Kennard. He had him all the way. You see, it was a simple post pattern to the inside. Yashchenko was just too good for Rob Tallyho in that play.
College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. Rick McGee is set to kick it away for the University of Alberta. Wolfenden, number 16, and number 32, Kevin McAllister, await. The ball bounces down to McAllister, and he's wrapped up immediately at the Ottawa U 24-yard line. There was just no opportunity for any kind of a return, as Gord Syme, number 71, the all-Canadian defensive back for the Golden Bears, was there to make the tackle. Now, we saw the Alberta Golden Bears strike quickly. Let's watch the University of Ottawa GG's offense. They'll be led by, did they start Rick Zimmich? Yes, they did. Number 13, Mike Giftopoulos, number 22, and Brock Bundy, 35, in that backfield. Zimmich with a little play-action fake. He's going deep immediately, intending it for Don Burns, number 18, but there was excellent coverage by Glenn Music, number 19, and there was no opportunity for the completion.
Mike, it's kind of unusual that they go after Music right off the bat. He's the best defensive back in our conversations with the Ottawa GG coaches throughout the entire year. He's only a freshman, but an all-Canadian.
Matter of fact, had a big game against Western Ontario, and I believe he intercepted 2 passes.
He did, in the Western Bowl.
On 2nd and 10, Zimmich with another passing situation confronting him right now. This time gives on the draw to Mike Giftopoulos, and Giftopoulos breaks it for a big gainer and an important first down for the GGs. You get out to their own 38-yard line for a gain of 14. Larry Nagy, the linebacker, made the stop.
A big play for the GGs, Pat, because after your defense gets stung the way Ottawa was by the Golden Bears right off the bat, you can't help but have a little bit of a drop in your whole approach to this game. You have to come out offensively and assert yourselves. The GG 2nd and 10 were able to do that with that run by Giftopoulos.
So from their 38-yard line, it is first down Ottawa. They give inside to Brock Bundy, the fullback, number 35, and the big 6-footer gets across the 40 to about the 42, where Nerio Bolson, 45, and Larry Nagy, 56, make the stop, but the gain is about 4 yards, so make it, well, as a matter of fact, it's closer to 3 yards, make it 2nd and 7 for Ottawa U at that point.
Hey, guys, we might be in for a heck of an offensive football game.
I'm impressed at this point, I'll guarantee you that. Zimmich drops straight back. Fires it over the middle to Giftopoulos. He has the first down. Crosses midfield into the Alberta 54-yard line for a gain of 15 as the GGs come right back where Frank Salverda makes the tackle for Alberta.
Just an excellent offensive play, dumping it off to his back after a quick delayed block by Giftopoulos. Right over the middle, let those linebackers get out of there, and excellent calls on 2nd and long yardage both times by the Ottawa GGs.
First down, Ottawa from the Alberta 53. Zimmich again. Fires over the middle to Giftopoulos one more time. He's down very close to another Ottawa U first down at the 43-yard line. Nerio Bolton, 45, makes the stop for the Golden Bears.
Well, Rick Smith, 3 years in the league, has learned something over that period of time, and of course his coach Cam Innes, one of the most thorough college coaches that we have, and he's prepared them well, obviously. The linebackers for the Golden Bears are dropping off. They're taking advantage of the situation. They come back to the same play.
They bring the sticks out for our first measurement of the ball game, but as Riggs mentioned, we are in for some offensive show. The Golden Bears took the opening kickoff, and then they had that big strike from quarterback Forrest Kennard to Peter Oshchenko for the touchdown. The GGs weren't rattled. They've come back with 3 consecutive first downs, and they are very close to another one at the University of Alberta 43-yard line.
Pat, if I'm not mistaken, we've only had 1 incompletion by both teams so far in this first quarter.
We've got 9 minutes and 41 seconds left in this first quarter of play here at Varsity Stadium in the heart of downtown Toronto. And it appears as though they are just short of the first down marker. As you take a look at the University of Ottawa huddle, Don Burns, number 18, as Mitch comes up with his second and short yardage formation. Gives to the fullback, Brock Bundy, and Bundy has the first down at about the 36-yard line. Let's go down to Bill Stevenson.
And Forrest Kennard, the quarterback who made that spectacular touchdown pass. Forrest, tell us about it. Was it an audible or pre-planned? What happened?
Yes, it was an audible. We checked off at the line. I read safety blitz. Peter Oshchenko, probably the finest receiver that I've ever played with, ran a beautiful post pattern. It was just up to me to pitch and catch, and he caught and he ran, and we're up by 7. It looks like Ottawa's moving.
It looks like it's going to be an offensive ball game.
That's right. You really don't expect that early on in a championship game like this, but that's what college football is all about. It's a wide-open offensive game.
Good luck, Forrest. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
All right, Pat.
The ball was carried by Mike Giftopoulos, number 22. He gains about 3 yards, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the University of Ottawa GGs at the Alberta 38-yard line.
Giftopoulos was the outstanding player, of course, in the Atlantic Bowl. Pat, he gained 144 yards in that ball game.
Mitch drops straight back. Now gets some pressure. Fires the ball. Alberta kind of hoping that there would be an intentional grounding call. None came as Dave Morris, the linebacker on the left side, really forced the Ottawa quarterback to unload the ball early.
We're talking about famous names, Frank. There's another one to Canadian football fans. Dave Morris may be a young collegian doing a great job with the Alberta Golden Bears, but his father, Frankie Morris, a well-known name across Canada.
And the finest collegiate scout in the history, I think, of the college game in Canada, Frankie Morris.
What a job he's done for the Eskimos.
And that's why the Eskimos are so dominant in Canadian pro ball.
Speaking of Eskimos, do these uniforms look familiar?
Matter of fact, that's where the Eskimos got their colors
I
from.
was going to say the Golden Alberta actually discontinued football in 1948, and it was Anna Stukas who came and bought their uniforms for the Eskimos, so they borrowed them from the university as opposed to the reverse.
Andy Katz with a good punt down to Lawrence. Lawrence maintained his balance well, got out over the 5 to about the 8-yard line, so the Bears will start in a big hole as Joel Baldwin, number 23, was first down to make the stop for the University of Ottawa. But it's been a great opening to this game. The Bears and the GGs showing you what college offenses are all about. They're wide open, and I'll tell you, they've got some outstanding individuals playing.
That was a pretty good effort by Lawrence to not get pinned back within his own 2 or 3 yard line, Pat.
No doubt about it. He really showed you some moves. Robin Lawrence, number 18, as now the Alberta Golden Bears offense takes over, but this time in unenviable field position at their 8-yard line. Appeared to be movement, but no flag comes down. One does now, as Sean Keogh is nailed virtually at the line of scrimmage, nailed by Kevin Lokes, number 51, and Paul Timler, number 41.
I think it was Gord Renich that was offside for the Golden Bears. He looked a little anxious there, Pat, and maybe we can point out one of the differences in the collegiate game but from the pro game in the CFL. The outside receiver at the line of scrimmage, the offensive ends cannot move once they're set. The rules apply to them just as they do to the offensive line. Of course, in the CFL, they can move laterally.
Decline. Second down.
Penalty is declined. It is 2nd down and virtually 10 yards to go as Frank Borys comes into the ball game and Gord Renich comes out. On 2nd and 10, the Golden Bears leading 7-0. Kennard puts it up, And it is knocked away neatly by number 21, Peter Huber of the University of Ottawa, intending it for Peter Oshenko.
We have a look at Peter Oshenko in isolation now, Pat. As you can see, they flooded the area, tried to get to their favorite receiver. The ball a little hung up right there, but very good defense, as Peter Huber was the one who actually tipped the ball away.
All right, it's 7-0. Golden Bears out in front. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. Dave Brown will be punting out of his end zone with an average of over 38 yards per punt during the 1980 Western Conference season, as the Ottawa UGG send back Joel Baldwin, number 23, and Kevin McAllister, 32. Flag comes down. It is partially blocked. And making the reception for Ottawa's Boyd Young, their nose guard. He gives Ottawa possession at the 5-yard line, but there was a flag down on the play.
I believe, unfortunately, Pat, from Ottawa's point of view, that one of their interior linemen jumped offside just prior to that ball being snapped. He may, however, have been pulled offside.
Well, I saw Peter Huber kind of hitting his thigh in disgust, so we'll have to get the word from the official, but I believe it may go against the GGs, as you suspected, Frank.
Robin Stafford was actually the man who got his hand on the ball. Number 40 for Ottawa. Let's listen to the call.
Offside, Ottawa. Third down repeated.
Let's see in our end zone replay if we can pick up movement and look for number 61, Boyd Young, whether or not he was premature. Well, we're coming in a little late. You can see the block and the big effort there by the GGs that could have really turned this first quarter around for them, but as it turns out, it'll be third down, and Dave Brown will get another shot at it.
Robin Stafford was actually pushed into the punt. That's how it came to be blocked, as Brown again stands a couple of yards in his end zone this time. That's a good high punt away. This is Joel Baldwin. And Baldwin maintains possession for the University of Ottawa at the Alberta 48-yard line, as Gord Syme, number 71, was again first down for the Golden Bears. Baldwin, incidentally, is the only American playing in this game. He's a boy from St. Petersburg, Florida, who decided that he wanted to go to the University of Ottawa, and he ended up as being their outstanding pass receiver and one of their punt returners as well. So the GGs trailing 7-0. Start from the Alberta 48. Spitz wants to put it up again, does. This time, unfortunately, it was slightly behind the intended receiver, Paul Baldwin, number 23.
Well, let me tell you, that offensive line of the GGs is doing a great job. Mitch was able to stand back there. He is a drop-back passer as opposed to Yvan Granger, who shares the quarterbacking duties with him at times. He was able to stand back there and take a real free look at that backfield.
It is 2nd and 10, Ottawa U from the Alberta 48-yard line. Mitch drops straight back, slipped a little bit, delivers, and it was very nearly picked off by number 71, Gord Syme, the all-Canadian defensive back for the University of Alberta. Syme, incidentally, is the brother of Dave Syme, who played in the CFL for a number of years. As we take a look at the Alberta coaches, Frank mentioned that Jim Donlevy is upstairs. That's Jim Lazaruk we're looking at right now. He's the offensive line coach. He also coached the Edmonton Wildcats to the 1977 Canadian Junior title, and he was a member of the 72 Alberta champions. On return for the Bears. And was that 19 or 18? It was Lawrence, number 18, Robin Lawrence, with a good return that will give Alberta possession somewhere around their 30-yard line.
Well, I tell you, that's a pretty good gain on the exchange of punts. Alberta started off before that penalty, Frank, when the block punt had occurred at about their own 5-yard line. Now they're scrimmaging from their 29, so on the exchange they gain about 24. Part of it due to this fine return by Robin Lawrence as he cuts upfield. Has to get close to 15 on that.
First down, Alberta from their 30-yard line. Kennard puts it up. No good. The intended receiver one more time was Oshenko, with the coverage provided by number 16 for the University of Ottawa, I believe it was, Dan Wolfenden.
know, it's interesting, Mike, I believe in both conversations with both coaches, how much emphasis they put on their specialty teams and the kicking game. They really do consider it at least a third of their efforts.
So on 2nd and 10, let's watch Forrest Kennard and the Alberta Golden Bears offense from their 30. Kennard setting up the screen, delivers to Sean Keogh. And Keogh gets about 6 or 7, but he'll be short of the first down as Robin Stafford, number 40, was there to make the stop for the University of Ottawa. Bill Stevenson, what's happening down there?
Okay. I've got Mike Giftopoulos with me. Mike, what's it like out there? Is it a little slippery?
It's pretty slippery out there, Bill, when you're trying to make the sharp cuts. But other than that, the field condition's pretty good.
You think you're going to be able to get it going against this Alberta club?
Well, we showed in the first series that we could move the ball. We just had a bad possession the last time, but I do feel that we will be able to move the ball against them.
Mike Giftopoulos, good luck.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
So the Golden Bears will be punting with Dave Brown on 3rd and 3, kicking it away to Joel Baldwin, 23, and Kevin McAllister, 32. Oh, another good punt by Brown. This is Baldwin. Had trouble with the punt, so he decides to just cover it at the University of Ottawa 40-yard line, and that's where the GGs will start with 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in this opening quarter of College Bowl 80. And the Alberta Golden Bears struck quickly on their first possession. They lead at 7-0. But we've had good offensive movement by both clubs. The GGs started from poor field position and moved all the way down to about the Alberta 35 before they had to kick it away. So hang on to your hats. We'll see what Smith decides to do right now. He's number 13, the Ottawa U quarterback. And he looked and looked and looked, and by the time he decided what he was going to do with it, Rick Shaver, number 63, was there for the quarterback sack.
I'll tell you, really couldn't fault the offensive line of the Ottawa GGs, though. They did an excellent job of protecting their young quarterback. Look at how long he has to throw this football.
Mike Giftopoulos is trying to protect. He comes over on number 65, who puts on a pretty big rush. But still the rush gets there. He had 3 receivers off to the left, but he couldn't spot one of them, Frank.
It is 2nd and 17. Schmidt puts it up. The catch is made by number 25, Paul McLaughlin, but he may be just inches short of the first down as Robin Lawrence wrapped him up before he could reach that yardstick. But a fine pass by Schmidt and a good reception by Paul McLaughlin. And now on 3rd and a full yard, let's see if the GGs will go for it. The Golden Bears are not anticipating that Ottawa U will gamble. They have sent back their punt returners, and they guessed well because Andy Katz drops back in punt formation. Lawrence and Music are back to receive. Good kick by Katz. This is Music, number 19. Gets to the outside, breaks a couple of tackles, and look at this. Music takes the ball all the way to the Alberta 51-yard line. A fine return by Glenn Music, number 19.
Well, what can you say about Glenn Music? You've talked about his abilities defensively and what a job he's done as a quarterback, but this is something that he isn't quite so well known for, but what a job. And watch his balance as he breaks one tackle after another. People getting a shot, but he keeps on weaving and turning and keeping his legs going.
Well, it's 7-0. University of Alberta leads it. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. Well, we're in the heart of downtown Toronto at Varsity Stadium, where the University of Alberta Golden Bears lead College Bowl 87-0 against the University of Ottawa GGs. And Forrest Kennard, number 12, the quarterback of the Bears, finds himself with a first down. He's completed 4 out of 7 for 86 yards and 1 touchdown, and he dropped straight back this occasion. Wants to go deep for Sean Keogh, and it goes incomplete. Keogh found it tough going down there. He was bumped halfway down his pass route, but was well covered by Rob Tallyho.
Well, it was Rob Tallyho that they had beaten previously, you'll recall, Pat, on the big 53-yard touchdown play. This time, Keogh is the inside receiver, tries to beat him on a similar post pattern, but Tallyho does a pretty good job staying with him. I thought it was close to interference, but the official was on it. There was no contact. That's just good defense.
Pat, I'd like to just say one thing about Percy Glendale, the offensive center of the Alberta Golden Bears. He's doing an excellent job so far on Boyd Young, the Shinley nominee in the Ontario-Quebec Conference, as the best lineman.
Kennard fired that one, and it bounced off the face mask of Peter Ashenko. It was actually tipped, I believe, by Brian Mullally.
Mullally's had a fine afternoon so far. We saw him in on one sack, did a great job moving across as a linebacker into Ashenko and tipping that ball.
I'll tell you, though, Kennard throws the ball well, doesn't he?
He certainly does. You wonder how he has such a good, clear vision of what's going on down there with his lack of height, but boy, he finds them.
Well, I'll tell you, he gets it upfield. This is compared to Smith, who we said averaged 7 yards per completion. Forrest Kennard averages just over 15 yards per completion.
So Dave Brown is punting for Alberta on 3rd and 10. Baldwin and McAllister await. GGs don't bring a big rush this time, but another good kick by Brown. And this is Baldwin. Baldwin with a good return out to about the 30, where the GGs will put it into play offensively with 1 minute and 38 seconds left to play in this first quarter.
Boy, what a great block by Mike Gallagher, the all-Canadian safety of the Ottawa GGs, allowing a little room to go upfield.
But a real shift, though, Frank, in momentum. After the Golden Bears got the touchdown, the GGs came back with a drive. The Golden Bears started scrimmaging deep in their own end, but the last series of downs, they started from their own 50-yard line. So the ball's been shifting deeper into the GG end.
Well, Brown and the Bears is out kicking cats of the Ottawa GGs so far in the first quarter of this football game.
On the give, Brock Bundy gained about 3 yards out to the 33-yard line, make it 2nd and 7 for GGs, as Rolly Miles and Larry Nagy, 55 and 56, combined to bring down the Ottawa ball carrier.
Surprisingly little problems with footage, Pat, in the first quarter of this ball game so far.
You're right. The field is in great shape, Briggs. Mitch takes a couple of steps back and then overthrows his intended receiver, Donnie Burns. As the GG passing game has stalled momentarily, Cam Innes, the coach of the year in Canadian college football this year, looks on, and you know that he's a little bit uptight at this moment because the GGs, after their first impressive initial drive, have had trouble throwing the ball against the Bears.
Appropriately enough, the Coach of the Year trophy is named after one of the great college coaches in this intercollegiate union, and that's Frank Tyndall.
Queen's University, of course. The punt goes to number 18, Robin Lawrence, and Lawrence this time is better contained, but he still gets the ball across midfield into the Ottawa U 54-yard line. It was a 30-yard punt by Andy Katz and a 10-yard return. As we will watch the Bears go offensively once again. If you joined us late, a sensational pass play from quarterback Forrest Kennard to Peter Ashenko on the first Alberta series of downs gave them a 7-0 lead, and that's the way it stands with just 20 seconds left to play in what has been a very entertaining first quarter. With some good faking. Now puts it up. And it was intended for number 17, Dave Brown, but he couldn't get to it.
He was trying to go to Ashenko again on a man-on-man pattern, but Tallyho had excellent coverage on the great little receiver from Alberta.
You can see that Bill Stevenson is warmly dressed for this afternoon's game.
Hi, Bill. Thanks for waving.
I think that may be the Golden Bear mascot, waving to all those fans in Alberta who are cheering on the club right now. And I'll tell you, they're systematically moving up this field. Now they're into Ottawa territory.
It is 2nd and 10, Bears at the Ottawa 54-yard line. Kennard drops straight back as a flag comes down over the middle. A fine pass to Mike Waltham. Waltham would have the first down, but we will wait and see what the flag is about as Peter Huber, number 21, made the tackle for Ottawa U.
Boy, I'll tell you, that middle sure opened up, but we'll have to get the call.
Beautifully executed offensive pattern, however.
Apparently, the indication from the official you see in giving it to the GGs was illegal motion by the Golden Bears, so we expect, unfortunately for them, it will be brought back.
Procedure call against the University of Alberta, as Mike had anticipated. So it will nullify what would have been a first down completion from Kennard to Wolfram, and it will bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Golden Bears, this time at their 51-yard line. Number 17 is Dave Brown as we take a look at that offensive huddle of the Golden Bears. This will be the final play of the first quarter. Little adjustment going on the sidelines. As the GGs jumped a little early, no flag comes down. Kennard going deep. And what a reception by number 74, Gord Rennick. A sensational catch. As Peter Huber was with him step for step, and at the final moment, Rennick simply dove and made the catch outstretched.
Gord Rennick is the one man in the receiving corps that had not been talked about a great deal coming into this game. I'll tell you, he said it all with this catch. A tremendous throw by Forrest Kennard, but look at that effort by Gord Rennick.
So at the end of the first quarter of play, it is Alberta 7, Ottawa nothing. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. There's the man who's put on a tremendous performance this afternoon, quarterback Forrest Kennard, who just delivered a 41-yard pass to Gord Rennick, and it has set up the Alberta Golden Bears for a first down at the University of Ottawa 18-yard line. We are just beginning play in the second quarter. The Bears out in front 7-0, but threatening to increase that margin right now. Obviously a miscue in the pattern by Peter Ashenko, or a misread by Forrest Kennard, because as Ashenko did his out, Kennard threw it upfield.
I think Ashenko just broke it off a little quicker than his young quarterback thought he would. If you take a look at the first quarter stats, the ball game certainly has been dominated by the University of Alberta, who leads 7-0 very early here in the second quarter.
Total yards, of course, 132 to 66. That's the big key factor in the ball game to this point.
What surprised me, Pat, is that the Golden Bears have not been able to establish more running with Sean Keogh. Mind you, Forrest Kennard in that passing arm has been superb.
Kennard this time keeps it. And he's inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line, and maybe short by about a half a yard or so.
I like this little guy, boy. He looks like a little field general as he steps up under his center, Percy Glendahl, and he'll take off with it. He'll do whatever's necessary.
Fantastic. Frank, I was talking to him earlier this week. He said, look, they told me I was too small to play when I was in high school, but I played. They told me I was far too small to play in college, but I'm playing. I think I might try to take a shot at the pros. Why not? And I'll tell you, with that kind of attitude and courage, he may just impress an awful lot of people.
All right, gentlemen, it may well be decision time now for Jim Donlevy, the head coach of the Alberta Ball Club. Will he go for it?
I don't know. Let's go down to Bill Stevenson.
All right, and one of the famous names, Rollie Miles Jr., the nose guard for the 17 Club. What about this game, Rollie?
It's pretty tough so far. If we can score now, we're looking pretty good. But we're trying to hold them. We're just getting used to what they're doing.
And is it the passing that you're concerned about with the Ottawa Club?
We're not really quite sure. I think if we score on this drive, they'll have to pass to catch us.
Good luck, Rollie Miles Jr.
Okay, I'd just like to say hello to my family and my friends watching the game.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rollie Miles.
All right, the Golden Bears will go for it on third and about a yard.
I like the call, Riggs.
Absolutely.
The give is to the fullback, Rick College, and he appears to have the first down. Ryan Mullally moved in to make the stop, but not before the first down is gained by the Alberta Golden Bears.
We talk an awful lot about Sean Keogh, but Rick Pollich himself has gained 268 yards for a pretty good 4-yard average, and you know he's gaining a lot of that in tough situations like this, so he more than upholds his end of it.
It is first and touchdown to go, Alberta, from the Ottawa U 6-yard line. Poroshenko, touchdown. Poroshenko with his second touchdown reception this afternoon in front of Rob Tallyho, and And the University of Alberta Golden Bears are out in front, 13-0.
Well, Jim Lasruck doesn't show a great deal of expression, but you have to know that he's happy as offensive coordinator because they're putting on a display. They're really taking advantage of that right corner spot. Rob Tallio having a long afternoon, but a great afternoon for Forrest Kennard and Peter Ashenko in the early going.
Forrest Kennard looked at Dave Brown, saw that he was pretty well covered, just turned around, fired it to his left, and there was Ashenko, who was being closely covered by Tallio, but he went up and got it. Frank Forrest will try the point after. He is good, and the Golden Bears are out in front, 14-0.
Once again, Nick Volpe, our ISO director, is going to bring it back for us. And you'll see him look to the right side, as Pat had said, and finally turn back to hit Ashenko in the left corner of that end zone. The second major score in this ball game by that passing combination.
Well, you know, Coach Jim Dunleavy was telling you and I, Frank, that of all the receivers he's had, and he's had outstanding ones, Pryor, Marco Sincard, Joe Poplowski, and I mean, they truly are outstanding receivers. I mean, it says something when he says that Ashenko is certainly in their class.
And you know, it says something for college football in Canada when you realize that this man was third in his conference, an outstanding receiver, but you have outstanding football players like him across Canada in the colleges playing football, and it's great entertainment.
No question about it, as Rick McGee is set to kick it off for the Alberta Golden Bears. McAllister and Burns are back. And this is McAllister, number 32. Good coverage by the Bears to contain the return by the GG's Kevin McAllister to about the 25-yard line. Ron Frank, number 72, was first down for the stop.
And Pat, in talking to Jim Dunleavy, you mentioned our conversation with him. Who did he tell us would make most of the stops on those specialty teams? None other than Ron Frank, number 72.
Well, he knows his club, and now the University of Ottawa know what they have to do. They are trailing 14-0 with the first down at their 25-yard line. Going to try to establish a little running attack as Mike Giftopoulos has the handout. And boy, what a job he did to get very close to the first down. It appeared as though Giftopoulos might be wrapped up early, but he broke it off and gets very close to 10 yards.
Look for the move by Giftopoulos. I believe it's Dave Morris, number 42 of the Golden Bears, who appears to have lined up right there. A great block by 52. Julio Petrilli on Morris that allows Giftopoulos to break to the inside and pick up that extra yardage.
Second and less than a yard for the first down for Ottawa at their 35. The give is to Brock Bundy, number 35. He has the first down and lots more as he gets close to the 40-yard line. Rick Shaver, number 63, the defensive end, and Rolly Miles, the nose guard, number 55, there to make the stop.
Pat, you know, the Ottawa GGs had an awesome running attack in the Atlantic Bowl against Acadia. Bundy gained 96 yards in that ball game, and Giftopoulos 144.
Well, they can move the ball on the ground. They like to throw it. Let's see what they do now. They've had less success throwing than they would have liked, but Mitch is going to put it up again. Does to Giftopoulos, but it was well read and well played by Ron Frank, number 72, to contain his advance to maybe a couple of yards. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for quarterback Rick Smith when we return. It is 14-0. Alberta. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment.
All right, all-conference safety Mike Gallagher. Mike, you're having problems with the passing of that Edmonton club. What's going on?
Well, I think we have to get a more concentrated rush on the quarterback. He's getting a little too much time, and we got to cut down on our coverage a little bit.
They've got some pretty good receivers.
They do, that's true. We knew they'd be a passing club for the most part.
All right, Mike Gallagher, thank you. Pat?
Gord Syme with the interception that he returns all the way for the touchdown. That's why that man is an all-Canadian. Gord Syme stepped right in front of the intended receiver and takes it the distance to increase the Alberta lead to 20-0.
Mitch wanted to go to his star receiver, Joey Baldwin, in the middle. Mitch, you see, sitting back, reading, watching the quarterback's eyes, moved in front. He goes all the way. He had 5 interceptions during the regular season of 8 games. He picks off one here for a touchdown. This gentlemen, is the, I believe, 4th time that the Golden Bears have scored by virtue of interceptions this year.
I'll tell you, he almost picked one off in the first quarter that was tipped. He timed that one absolutely perfect.
Well, the Alberta Golden Bears established a lot of superiority offensively on their first series. They went in to score on a touchdown pass from Kenner to Ashenko. They came back early here in the second quarter with another Kenner to Ashenko touchdown. And now Gord Syme electrifies the crowd with a 46-yard interception return for the major score. And now Frank Boris will try to make it a 21-0 count. An impressive first half for the Bears. Boris is good. It's 21-0 Alberta, and they have been impressive to say the least. There's a friend of yours, Michaels?
Well, he's a great fan of college football. The Attorney General for the province of Ontario, Roy McMurtry, who played with the University of Toronto Blues, also assisted in coaching them, so that you know that he'll be a big fan of this game.
We were looking at some old University of Toronto pictures downstairs, and lo and behold, there was our isolation director, Nick Volpe.
Nicholas Volpe. You talk about great University of Toronto Blues players, Frank. You'll remember that he was a great quarterback, because when you came to play here in 44, Nick was just starting with the Blues. Right?
Hold it, now hold it. I was just going to take a shot at Nick. You got me first.
Well, I'll tell you, the two fellas that are with me today had great college careers of their own. Frank Rigney, of course, at Iowa. Mike Wadsworth at Notre Dame. And I'm an alumnus of Ottawa U.
I know. Well, how was your career?
Donnie Burns with the kickoff return for Ottawa U. Burns with an outstanding return gets it over the 35 to about the 38, and the GGs know what they have to do. They've got to get cranked up, as Robin Lawrence was there to knock off his counterpart, number 18 of the GGs, Don Burns. The 51-yard kickoff was returned 25 yards, and the GGs now got to get it going.
And they say that Donnie Burns has 4.6 speed in the 40. He certainly showed it there.
Rick Zemich, spelled Z-M-I-C-H, at quarterback for Ottawa. He's been there all afternoon. Puts it up and is going deep, but it is knocked away on a fine defensive play by Robin Lawrence. The intended receiver was Paul McLaughlin. Excuse me, it was Glenn Music, I believe, that knocked it away.
I believe it was, and I'll tell you, that I think right now that's one of the differences between these clubs. Not only is Forrest Kennard having an outstanding afternoon at quarterback, but he's being backed up defensively with a tremendous secondary that's taking a great deal away from Rick Smith.
The GGs need a first down badly right now. Going deep for Donnie Burns, but wide open in the middle was Paul McLaughlin.
Third down.
Syme had pretty good coverage on Burns. That's what we're talking about. Syme, of course, does such a tremendous job. Here's obviously a man-to-man coverage as we're looking at the director of CTV Sports, Johnny Esau.
And, of course, he received a tremendous tribute during this College Bowl week festivities. He received the Fred Scambatti Award for John's contribution to amateur sports. And there is no doubt that he has been one of the great benefactors of all amateur sport, but certainly to figure skating. And there isn't a person across Canada who wasn't delighted, I'm sure, to see John receive that award. Congratulations, old partner. The GGs will be punting on 3rd and 10. They have not been able to move the ball offensively since their first series of downs. And I know they like to throw the ball, but I also think they should try to establish that running game a little bit.
Well, Pat, I was a little disappointed that they tried to get it all back in trying to throw deep on both first and second down there. They've got to pick that short passing game, which has been the history of their ball club in 1980.
Music allows that punt to roll out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it.
You could do a lot of great things with that, couldn't you? Music stops, music goes, music gets quick.
You know what's funny, as I look around this stadium, I can't help but remember it was 1951, the first time I was ever in this park. My mother took me.
30.
My mother took me to see the Ottawa Rough Riders against the Regina Rough Riders, as they were called. Glenn Dobbs was the quarterback for Regina, Tom O'Malley for Ottawa, and Ottawa won that Grey Cup game. And it's one I remember very vividly. I don't remember last year's, but I remember that one well.
Mike, we could have no comment on anything that long ago. Uh-oh, look out.
Oh, just a fine reception by Sean Keogh. As the coverage dropped deep, Keogh was certainly well underneath them, made the reception, and gives Alberta a big first down into the Ottawa 38.
I'll tell you, it was an outstanding job once again by Forrest Kennard, because Paul Timler blitzes on it. He hits Kennard just as he releases the ball. Kennard is absolutely falling down at this time, but he's able to deliver to Sean Keogh, who makes a great grab in front of Peter Huber, who had the coverage.
It was a 33-yard gain, Kennard to Keogh, and it gives Alberta a first down at the Ottawa, let's put it at the 43-yard line. Kennard to Ashenko. Oh, what a catch. What a super-looking offense this is, though. Kennard just throws the ball. It's pitch and catch, as Brian Powers was there to make the final tackle, but just a super reception by Peter Ashenko, who had 29 catches during the regular campaign.
It certainly is an outstanding catch, but Mike, I really am impressed, as you mentioned on the play previously, Kennard delivering that football.
I mean, it's
the little guy's getting beat up, and he's still just putting it right on the money.
You know, I mean, you could always take two views of something. I prefer to take the view, and I think legitimately so, that Alberta is just playing an outstanding offensive game. It's not that the GGs are weak. In fact, the GGs defense kept opposition to under 12 points per game, but Forrest Kennard and his receivers, his offensive line, are putting on a great offensive display.
Kennard will put it up one more time. Into the middle he goes to Mike Wolfram, and Wolfram is inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. The tackle was made by Dan Wolfram, number 16, for Ottawa. He's got them totally confused now, though.
I'll tell you, he's using his passing game just extremely effectively. This time he hits a little crossing pattern coming over there. Timler, who had hit the quarterback, Kennard, on the two previous plays, could not provide the coverage. They just got an excellent offensive mixture going for them right now. And a very concerned coach of the year, Cam Ince, of the Ottawa GGs, on the sideline.
It is first and touchdown to go, Alberta, from the 8-yard line. Kennard looking for Dave Brown. Touchdown. Oh, what a pattern Dave Brown had. Kennard delivered it before he even had turned around for the ball, and there was no coverage that could have prevented that.
I'll tell you, Forrest Kennard has done a tremendous job exploiting and reading that Ottawa defense. He comes back again against Rob Tallyho, but as you pointed out, Pat, very difficult coverage with Brown at good speed, driving down on the quarterback, and coming back and betting out a bit to the sideline. You get the protection that Forrest Kennard needed, it becomes very difficult after that to defend against him.
Frank Boras will try to make it a 28-0 ball game, and he does. With 8 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in the second quarter, College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. They look like the Edmonton Eskimos. They've got the same color of jerseys, the same uniforms. They have a great working relationship with the Eskimos, and I'll tell you, they have been impressive. But don't discount the Ottawa GGs, because when you've got a passing attack like they have, they can score points in a hurry. Number 35 for the GGs is Brock Bundy, and Bundy returns the kickoff to about the 35, and that's where Ottawa U will begin. Stu McAndrews, 44, was down quickly to contain that Ottawa U run back.
Not to be unduly critical of Rick Smith, because he has provided everything over the season to the Ottawa GGs, but Coach Cam Ince was saying that Yvan Granger, he had a tremendous amount of confidence in. He feels he could equally lead the club offensively. I'm surprised that he doesn't let Smith sit down for a bit, take a look at what's happening, and put Granger in.
It is first down Ottawa from the 35. A little play action pass over the middle to Giftopoulos. Giftopoulos has the first down and gives Ottawa possession at their own 48 before Larry Nagy, the linebacker, who has been in on so many plays today, makes the stop. Well, they should be happy because what a job that offensive line of the Alberta Golden Bears has done. You see number 54 was Percy Kendall, Ben Durr, number 60. They've just done an outstanding job. First down, Ottawa U from their 48. They'd like to get a score now to get back in this game. They trailed 28-0. This is Giftopoulos trying to get outside. Can't do so because number 72, Ron Frank, just strung it out enough till he was able to hop on his back and down him.
Pat, just to back up what you say about the Ottawa Gigi's ability to score, they lost only one football game the entire year. That one was to Carleton University, but they put 21 points on the board, Ottawa did, in one quarter of that game.
They were ahead 21-0, as a matter of fact, and then the Carleton Ravens came back to, as Frank mentioned, give Ottawa U their only loss of the year. Smith setting up the screen to Giftopoulos. Oh, what a play. Grabbed from behind by Roley Miles Jr. because that screen was well set up and Giftopoulos was getting ready to cut it back inside when Miles grabbed him from behind.
Mike, they said he was quick. Watch this.
Let's take a look at it, Frank, because it really does show it. He's in the middle now, being blocked out by Mike Reed. Reed releases, of course, for the screen, but Miles releases with him and does a great job of reading and hustles over to that sideline.
Roley is a good-looking prospect.
Boy, I'll say.
Jim Donlevy was saying he's the same as Roley Sr., except that because he's used the weight so much, he has a much bigger upper body.
Oh, he's a lot better looking, too. I know Roley Sr.
On the return, I believe that was number 19, and if it was, that's Music. Then Music gives Alberta possession outside their 35 at about the 37, and so with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in this first half, and the Golden Bears out in front 28-0. Forrest Kennard comes back out onto the field, and what a job he's done this afternoon.
Ottawa coaching staff trying to keep some enthusiasm in the troops, but the little field general right now is the man who controls this first half, Forrest Kennard.
Sean Keogh. Keogh was nailed back of the line of scrimmage. There was good penetration for Ottawa by Bernie Gillette, number 45. And the loss will be a couple of yards. Keogh, incidentally, who we mentioned at the top of the show, is an outstanding running back, has carried the ball twice this afternoon, but the Ottawa defense has done a great job in handling him. He's only gained a total of 2 yards. Total rushing for Alberta, just 14 yards, yet they lead 28-0. They've got 207 yards passing already. Ottawa appeared to jump offside. Kennard puts it up. Another fine reception by Wolfram. And he's a good-looking prospect as he gets into the Ottawa 53-yard line. 22 yards, the gain by Mike Wolfram on the pass from Forrest Kennard.
We saw two people jump offside. It appeared to be 59, Nick Georgitsos, as well as Boyd Young, 61. Whether they were pulled or not, well, it appears if it was a
offside, decline.
It was Ottawa offside. They tried to anticipate the snap count. So that fine passing play will stand.
The gain by Wolfram was 22 yards on his third reception of the afternoon for a total of 50. He's a big target for Kennard. He's 6'4", goes 200 pounds. And the little quarterback has certainly utilized him well today. The leading receiver, incidentally, is Ashenko with 4 receptions. This is Sean Keogh. Keogh cut it outside, then back inside, and gets to about the 48-yard line for a gain of about 6.
Let me ask a question that only an old-timer like you, Patrick, can answer. Would Forrest Kennard be much shorter than Eddie LeBaron? Eddie LeBaron was pretty short, but he was such an outstanding quarterback.
Well, he was an outstanding quarterback. I wonder, was he much shorter than Ronnie Stewart, who was a running back, mind you? But, I mean, remind me.
Can I get in this, guys? Was he much shorter than Pat Martin?
Well, no, but I mean, the man's done such an outstanding job this afternoon. That kind of ability you don't come across that often.
It is 2nd and 3, and they give us to the fullback, Rick Polish, and look at him burst out of there. College with a big gain inside the 35 to about the 33, forced out by Mike Gallagher. And just a reminder that CTV Sports tomorrow will present the National Football League encounter between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. That should be a good one. Watch for it. But I'll tell you, we've got a great game going on right here as the Alberta Golden Bears are showing you that college football in Canada truly is exciting.
The reason for the delay. Somebody wanted to salute the Golden Bears and threw on a flare to match half of the color of their team anyway.
Well, Pollin's 13-yard gain gives him a total of 19 yards now on 4 carries, as the Bears are really mixing it up now offensively. Well, there's the man we've been talking about, Forrest Kennard, 5'6", 165 pounds. Completed over 51% of his passes during the regular campaign, threw 10 touchdown strikes, had only 6 intercepted all season, and this afternoon he has thrown 3 touchdown passes already, 2 to Peter Oshenko, 1 to Dave Brown, and then there was the pass interception that was returned for a major score by Gord Syme, and that's how we stand, 28-0 in favor of the Alberta Golden Bears, who came into this game ranked number 1 in the nation. This is Pollich with some good ball handling by Kennard one more time. And Pollich gets inside the 25 to about the 24 for a gain of very close to 9 yards. Peter Hubert and Robin Stafford made the stop for Ottawa.
It's hard to know what to do against this Alberta club defensively, because in the last drive it was all putting the ball in the air. This time it's all on the ground, and they look just as awesome.
Well, Frank, I think you mentioned it before that Percy Gendel, the center for the Alberta Golden Bears, is doing a great job. Boyd Young, the nose guard, most often, sometimes playing left defensive tackle as he is now in the 4-man front. He's the man the GGs rely on for pass rush. He's the big guy up front. So far, he's being pretty effectively controlled.
It is 2nd and 1. The give is to the big man again, Rick Pollich. And Pollich will be very close to that first down marker. He is the fullback at 6'2", 198. And they'll probably bring the sticks out when we come back. It is 28-0. Alberta over Ottawa. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment.
Was one big touchdown. Most certainly it was the interception of Gord Syme. Tell us about it, Gord.
Well, we had a man coverage on where we put some pressure on the quarterback, but I get to play free. So I just follow where the quarterback looks, and I was just there.
The ball just came to you.
Yeah, that's about it.
Congratulations, Gord Syme.
Can I just say hi to my mother and Marcy? Thank you.
Thanks, Gord.
Well, I'm sure that Marcy watched as Rick Pollich carried the ball in very close to the Ottawa 12-yard line. Kevin Lopes, number 51, was there to make the tackle, but Pollich has been impressive as well.
Big, strong guy, Sean Keogh. Here's where Forrest Kennard is so clever, not only in the way in which he's been working his passing game. He knows that Ottawa is obviously keying on Sean Keogh, who had such a fantastic year. They're controlling him, but using Keogh well as a decoy, and now they're bringing Pollich on to run very effectively.
I'll tell you who must have pretty good football teams, too. The University of Calgary and the University of Manitoba, because they both beat the University of Alberta Golden Bears this season.
Calgary actually wound up tied with the Golden Bears at the end of the regular season with 6-2 records, but the Golden Bears had an edge in terms of their home-and-home series.
It is first down, 10 to go from the 12-yard line. This is Sean Keogh. And Keogh was tripped up, good play by number 51, Kevin Lopes, who was able to just tap his ankles, and Keogh went down.
I'll tell you, we've seen quite a development, though, in Canadian college football. Go back to the period of time when it used to be pretty well centered amongst 4 universities here in the East. Now you have great college football across the country, including the East Coast, and it's really come on in the last 15 years, largely through the efforts of this College Bowl Committee that's worked so hard, and also people like the Shenny Corporation, who have these big awards now handed out to the outstanding collegians as well.
And Labatt's as well, who award to the offensive and defensive players of the game a trophy, a beautiful one. into the end zone. An easy touchdown for Peter Ashenko, his third major score of the afternoon, the fourth touchdown strike by quarterback Forrest Kennard.
Well, after having gone to the right defensive side, on this occasion he comes back against number 12, Brian Towers. But the receiver, a familiar one, Peter Ashenko. As Towers turned around with the move to the inside, bends out to the flag, he's all by himself.
Well, it took them 10 plays, a little longer than some of their earlier drives, but they mixed up the run and the pass so efficiently, and they really had that Ottawa U defense reeling. As Bora's point after is good, and the Golden Bears are out in front 35-0. They are full value for that score. They have been awesome in this first half.
They haven't shown a weakness anywhere, Pat. The only thing that we maybe are a little surprised at is the fact that they have not run as effectively with number 31, Sean Keogh, that you now see leaving the field. But let me tell you, he's done a great job running out on the pass patterns. They've just terrified the Ottawa secondary virtually, and as a result, Forrest Kennard, who's been given excellent protection by his line, has been able to set up and just pick them apart.
Peter Ashenko has just tied a College Bowl record with his third touchdown reception of the afternoon, and we still have 1:50 to play in this first half. Rick McGee will be kicking it off. The number 32, Kevin McAllister, and to Donnie Burns. Burns will take this one at his 13. Good blocking. And Burns, with another good return, gets out over the 35 to the 38-yard line. As Ron Frank, who has been down so often all this afternoon, as first man down, makes the stop. And Yvon Granger, number 11, a transfer student from the University of Quebec at Three Rivers. They dropped their football program this year. Granger enrolled at Ottawa U, and he now will be the quarterback for the University of Ottawa GGs. Granger over the middle to Giftopoulos, and Giftopoulos is a fine-looking football player as he gets very close to first down yardage. Stan McAndrews and Mario Bolson, number 45, were there to make the stop. Giftopoulos this afternoon has caught 6 for 48 yards.
I was going to say, Pat, this has been the one play that the GGs have had some success with. As you can see, it's a play that you're only going to get limited yardage with, however, because you're going into the middle and the Golden Bears are able to react defensively. They're virtually giving that up.
Well, you know, it's funny, Mike, they had success throwing that little short look into Mike Giftopoulos. They've also had Paul McLaughlin in the middle, but Zemich seemed determined that he was going to burn that Golden Bear defense, and he simply could not do it because they've got two outstanding corners in Robin Lawrence and Glenn Music.
Absolutely, and it's not been their style of game either. Speaking of styles, Yvon Granger that time dropped back, but he's supposed to be a rollout quarterback, so let's take a look.
All right, it is first down, Ottawa U, from their 48-yard line. Again, Granger drops straight back, puts it up to the sideline, and was it intercepted in bounds? No, they rule that Robin Lawrence made the interception out of bounds. Paul McLaughlin was the intended receiver, number 25.
I'll tell you, Granger showed you a pretty good arm, though. Let's take a look at this. Paul McLaughlin, number 25, is pretty closely covered. Granger gets good time as again he goes to the straight drop. Overshoots 21, the initial man in coverage, McGee. The deflection went into the hands of Lawrence too late, but I'll tell you, that was a pretty well-placed ball by Granger.
And fortunately for Ottawa, Robin Lawrence was ruled out of bounds when he made the interception, so the GGs maintained possession, 2nd and 10 at their 48. Granger to McLaughlin, and he will have the first down if they give him the placement of the ball, which they are going to at the Alberta 51. We've got 53 seconds left to play in this first half. Alberta out in front 35-0.
You mentioned earlier about how Rick Smith was attempting to burn the Golden Bears. And of course, the person that he was trying to burn them with was none other than number 18, Don Burns. One of the reasons they were not able to do so, Glenn Music, number 19, has been playing him virtually man-to-man. Wherever you see Burns go, you'll tend to see Music on him.
Roger again drops right back and throws. I don't know who that was intended to. He had Mike Giftopoulos over the center, but the ball apparently just sailed on him. So it'll be 2nd and 10, Ottawa U at the Alberta 51 with 36 seconds showing on the clock. Now in college football, they are allowed 2 timeouts, so with 36 seconds, the GGs have lots of time. They trail 35-0. Here comes the blitz. Rajay delivers. And Don Burns makes a fine reception at about the 32-yard line of the Golden Bears. Rajay was hit the moment he released the ball by Mario Balzan.
I'll tell you, nice job by the receiver, Don Burns, coming back to the ball because it kind of hung up a little bit. Watch Burns turning out to the sideline, coming back. Now he comes back into the ball so the defenders cannot get to it.
18 seconds showing on the clock. The draw to Giftopoulos, well read by that Alberta defense, and they nail him right about the line of scrimmage as a timeout is called by the University of Ottawa GGs. College Bowl 80 is 10 seconds away from completing the first half. Well, obviously we're going to stay here, Mike. I thought we might break away, but we take a look right now at the man who really has been most of the story of that first half offensively for Alberta, Forrest Kennard, the quarterback who stands tall right now because what a job he has done. But the GGs have moved the ball impressively on this drive. They are down to the Alberta 32-yard line.
A little surprised that they waited as long as they did to stop the clock and take advantage of the timeout situation, because now that they have only 10 seconds left, a lot of pressure on Yvon Granger, who's seeing his first action, moving the ball impressively. The Golden Bears obviously in a prevent. They'll give up the shorter one. They'll tend to rely and work that clock themselves and expect to give up 7 or 8 in the middle. They don't want to give up the deeper play.
It is 2nd and 10, Ottawa, from the 32 of the Bears. Granger going deep, looking for McLaughlin. It is no good.
I'll tell you, there was contact early. There was contact with Paul McLaughlin early, and I believe it was Robin Lawrence, number 18, but there was no flag on it, and I will say it was inadvertent, but nonetheless, let's see if we can pick it up by taking another angle. From the end zone, look for number 25, Paul McLaughlin. Was bumped right there. Number 18, Robin Lawrence, no question, made contact with him beforehand, but there is no flag and only 3 seconds remain.
And so the University of Ottawa lines up in a field goal formation with Andy Katz to try this one from 38 yards out. The holder is Joel Baldwin. Katz puts it up, and it is wide. And the Bears don't want to give up the point. As a matter of fact, number 71, Gord Syme, runs it out as the gun sounds to end the first half of play with the University of Alberta Golden Bears in complete control of the University of Ottawa, 35-0. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment.
Well, I'll tell you what a combination I've got here. Forrest Kennard, the quarterback, Peter Ishenko, the triple threat man, 3 touchdowns. Let's first of all go to quarterback Forrest Kennard. Forrest, this has been quite a display of passing by your club.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. Our coaches have really prepared us well for this team. They're throwing everything against us. They're coming with a lot of blitzes, a lot of safety blitzes. And when you got receivers like Peter Ishenko, Dave Brown, and Mike Wolfram, I just throw the ball up and it's there.
Do you have any problems with your height with the big lineman in front of you? I know you've probably been asked this a million times.
I have no problems at all, Bill, and I would just like to say to the people to just watch the ball game and you decide whether I have problems or not.
There are no problems out there at all.
No.
But are you surprised at how successful you've been against the defense of Ottawa?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Our coaching staff prepared us very, very well for this team, and we've been hearing all week how inferior the WIFL is out west, and we're here for the WIFL as well as for Edmonton and the Golden Bears.
So you want to take everything back west?
That's right. We've got a strong league out there, and we want all of Canada to see our strength.
Well, have you had trouble holding on to big leads before this year for us?
Well, one time against University of Saskatchewan Huskies, who have the best middle linebacker in Canada, and Gary Sinclair. They came back. We had a big lead. They came back on us. So we got to go in at halftime and really decide that we got to give 30 minutes of 100% football.
Do you mean that you're going to continue passing? You won't play it safe and stay on the ground?
Well, I think we'll go a little bit more to our ground game. It really worked well for us in the second quarter. Rick Polich is running the ball super, and the footing isn't bothering our speedster, Sean Kehoe, either.
Now, let's talk about the passes to Peter Oshchenko. First of all, that first pass.
Yeah, that first pass, that was a safety blitz. And Peter and I read it all the way, and Peter ran a beautiful post pattern. He was wide open. It's a simple thing for the quarterback to just lay the ball in there.
Peter, you tell us your half of it.
Truthfully, Forrest said the truth. There's no safety there, and he read the ball, the safety very well, and it was a matter of just getting in the open.
Are you surprised at how easily you're able to get free?
Not necessarily, no. I didn't know what to expect from these guys. It was just a matter of what Forrest was reading and doing the patterns that I was told, and it was just a matter of being there.
They're not stopping you, though, or holding you up at the line of scrimmage.
They tried once to bum me, but perhaps second half, I think we'll see a lot more of that.
Well, now, out of the 3 touchdowns that you scored, was there one that you thought was the big one, as far as you personally are concerned?
The first one's the biggest one. It was somewhat of a surprise. It wasn't even supposed to be a pass and play. Forrest saw the safety blitz, and he just a matter of checking off, and the ball was very well thrown. It was right there.
Well, now, when you go into the huddle, do you tell Forrest exactly what's happening out there and say, hey, I can get free? Have you been doing this?
Not necessarily, no. Forrest can read the defense very well, and it's a matter of up to him and what the coaches call on the sideline, and just run what they say.
Well, you seem to be an extremely well-drilled ball club for us.
Well, thank you very much, Bill. And I think a lot of credit has to go to my quarterback coach, Kevin Allen, back in Edmonton. Hi, Kevin.
Well, it's been tremendous. Gentlemen, congratulations. Good luck if you're going to need it in the second half with that huge lead. Forrest?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Peter?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. College Bowl 80 will continue in a moment.
Well, the crowd's having a lot of fun, and I'll tell you, the University of Alberta Golden Bears had lots of fun in that first half, too. They lead it 35-0. It was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. They scored 28 points in that second quarter of play, and look at their total yards. 296 to 131. Kennard has been good on 12 of 19 passes for 242 yards. You can't say enough about that young man. And Mike, just before I let you in, I want to mention something about the Alberta coaches, because what a tremendous job they've done with this club. Head coach Jim Donlevy, he's been the head man for 10 years. He's been associated with all 5 appearances by the University of Alberta Golden Bears. This is his 3rd as a head coach. In 71, he lost to Western. In 72, he beat Waterloo Lutheran. And, of course, he's well on his way to his 2nd victory in 3 attempts as a head coach. And he's got quite a staff. Jim Lazaruk, who coaches the offensive line, we mentioned him. Murray Smith is a former head coach of the Golden Bears from 59 to 62. He also coached the junior Huskies. Dan Sirodik is the defensive line coach. He's been with them 5 years. He was with the Eskimos, incidentally, briefly. Larry Dufresne is the special teams coach. He was with the 1967 college champions from Alberta. And Clarence Catchman, the linebacker coach, has been with this team 8 years. So, I mean, they've got an experienced coaching staff, and they have done a superlative job.
Pat, it was only appropriate that you go through the coaching staff and all that they've done, because Ottawa also appropriately has received a lot of the coaching accolades as a result of Cam Innes receiving the Frank Tyndall Trophy, something that he gets personally, but his coaching staff has to share. But, you know, you talk about sports and the importance of coaching. From my point of view in football, there's nothing that's more important than the coach that you have on the sidelines, not only in terms of preparation, but in terms of attitude and how you come into the game. Obviously, the Alberta Golden Bears, more than prepared. They've got this super attitude, determined to win. They averaged only 350 yards a game offensively. Coming into today's game, they already have 296, so you know that Jim Donlevy and his staff had these people ready coming to Toronto.
All right, Rick McGee is set, and he kicks it deep. Joel Baldwin has the ball sail over his head. He picks it up at the 4-yard line. Excuse me, make that McAllister, number 32. Number 32, Kevin McAllister, gets the ball out over the 20 to about the 21, so the GGs will start there. Number 43, Roman Lowen was there to make the stop. And now let's see who head coach Cam Innes sends out the quarterback. It'll be number 11, Yvan Granger, who came in late in the second quarter. The GGs are down by 35. They give to the big fella, Brock Bundy, and Bundy crosses the 25 to about the 26 for a gain of about 4 yards. It'll send up a 2nd and 6 as Rick Shaper, the defensive end, and Rollie Miles, Jr., number 55, the nose guard, make the stop. Matter of fact, the ball is spotted at about the 27th, so the gain is closer to 5. Make it 2nd and 5, Ottawa U. And now I'm sure that Cam Innes has said, look, let's forget that first half. Let's go out there and do our job, and we'll see what the scoreboard says by the time 60 minutes have been played. Granger on the move, throws. The pass is complete to number 25, Paul McLaughlin. He has the first down.
Just about walked himself out of it. McLaughlin did a nice job working out to the sideline, had the first down by about 3 yards in his efforts to try to get a little extra yardage. As we look at McLaughlin, and also number 18, Don Burns, the other fine receiver for the GGs. It's McLaughlin, the outside man, who cuts back, manages to get the first down, but just about lost it.
The ball is at the Ottawa U 33-yard line. Yvan Granger, the 6'1", 180-pound quarterback, drops straight back. He's going deep, and it is intercepted by number 45, Nerio Balzan. A big turnover by the GGs as Balzan picks off that tip ball.
Well, I'll tell you, the Golden Bears deserve every bit of the lead they have by 35 points, but this is just pure bad luck for Yvan Granger. He throws a good ball into a crowd. Baldwin goes up for it. Balzan is good enough to be in the area and react to the ball that's deflected, but it was good enough for a reception.
So the Golden Bears will get their first possession of this second half at their 49-yard line. Peter Oshchenko has already tied a College Bowl record of 3 touchdown receptions. Trevor Kennard has thrown 4 touchdown passes. He looks for Oshchenko again. Oshchenko makes the catch down to the Ottawa 34-yard line. And I don't know how you're going to stop this combination. Dan Wolfenden, number 16, made the tackle.
I'll tell you, Pat, we better start looking for the record book of the yardage on it for any receiver. Oshchenko, once again, moves the ball all the way down to the Ottawa 35-yard line. Great throw, great catch. Kind of repetitive, isn't it?
His 6th reception of the afternoon, a total of 140 yards, and 3 of them have been touchdowns. Alberta now with the ball at the Ottawa 35-yard line. Sean Keogh. And that's why Sean Keogh was the Western Conference All-Star as he got down to the 16. Peter Huber, 21, and Brian Mullally, 55, were there to make the stop. It's another first down, Alberta.
Let's take a look at Sean Keogh. He's a name that you may be hearing a lot about for a number of years. He's got the size, the speed. He's a complete football player. He blocks well and can catch well. The most valuable player from the Western Conference. And as we pointed out before, he had to beat out a number of excellent ball players to gain that status.
The ball is at the 21-yard line of the GGs. give to Rick Pollage, the fullback, and Pollage fights his way inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Bernie Gillette, number 45, was first there to make the stop. Let's go to Bill Stevenson.
All right, this good-looking fellow is Nerio Bolzon. Nerio, tell us about the interception in that crowd.
Actually, we're just keying on the pass, and because they're so far behind, you know, they have to pass. You know, it's not gonna help any now if they run. So we were just keying on the pass and dropping back, and lucky enough, sure enough, the ball was there.
Are you surprised how lopsided this game is?
Yeah, kind of surprised. I was, but that's the way it goes, I guess.
Thank you,
Nerio.
It is second down, 4 yards to go to the end zone for Ashenko, and he just couldn't get it. Providing the coverage with Brian Powers, Ashenko gave it a good try, but the ball was just slightly overthrown. Good pass, though, by Kennard. It is 35-0 in favor of the Golden Bears. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. Conducts things on the sidelines for the University of Alberta Golden Bears, looking on as Rick McGee will try his first field goal of the afternoon. It is 3rd and 5, Alberta. The ball at the Ottawa 15. The field goal try will come from the 22. And it is good. And so with 10 minutes and 54 seconds left to play in the third quarter, the Alberta Golden Bears increase their lead to 38-0. I'd just like to remind everybody that this program is copyrighted and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction in whole or in part without the express written consent of the CTV television network is strictly prohibited.
Well, Pat, I think you got a bit of an insight as to what the Alberta Golden Bears are doing defensively now from Bill's interview with Nerio Bolzon when he said, we know they have to throw. We're simply going to drop back and look at the quarterback's eyes. Those linebackers are going to be dropping back too. Take what they're going to give you. That's the short pass. That's what Ottawa has always worked on effectively through the course of the year.
Yvonne Granger to Giftopoulos, who tried to make a jumping one-handed catch but could not do so. Giftopoulos was an All-Canadian last year and has certainly been the bread and butter man in the running attack of the GGs, whom we mentioned like to throw the ball. And they've had some success throwing it in the middle, but have had very little trying to go deep. Second and 10, Ottawa U from their 35. The draw goes to Giftopoulos, but it's read well again by that defensive unit of the Alberta Golden Bears. Dave Morris was in on the stop, along with a number of others, and Ottawa will be punting.
Maybe just a little late to be trying the screens and draws. They got to put that ball in the air.
Golden Bears send back Robin Lawrence, 18, and Glenn Music, 19, in anticipation of this punt from Andy Katz. A powering punt by Katz. It sends number 19, Glenn Music, back. But Music gets another good return out over the 40 to about the 41, and that's where the Bears will take over. A 48-yard boot by Andy Katz, the longest punt of the afternoon. It was returned 19 yards by Glenn Music. And let's see now if the Ottawa U GGs can contain what has been just an outstanding offensive performance by the Bears.
There has been an adjustment defensively by the GGs in the second half. They're playing Brian Towers man-to-man on Ashenko, and Rob Talleyho now on Brown. They'll flip-flop them as they have been in the first sequence in the second half.
Sean Keogh, the ball carrier, and I'll tell you, that was a saving tackle, because had Keogh been able to get to the outside, he might have gone the distance. The gain was limited to 3 yards by Peter Huber, number 21, who moved up to make that tackle. So on 2nd and 7, Kennard brings his ball club out over the ball. And drops straight back. through, but the intended receiver had fallen, and Dan Wolfen had tried to make a diving interception, but it was ruled no catch.
Well, the fans a little unhappy. They like to see the GGs get a break, Frank.
Well, I think they certainly deserve one. The GGs brought Mike Gallagher once again on a safety blitz, which, of course, they got turned on by Peter Schenkel on the very first score of this football game. Once again, Kennard read it very quickly and got rid of the football. It wasn't the best throw of the afternoon for the Oxford.
I'll tell you, I'd come on with that blitz a little bit more. You're down 35 points. You got to try to create some havoc and some mistakes, so why not?
Absolutely. Go ahead and gamble. But you know, I like that Alberta ball club. They're ahead 38-0. They're still putting it in the air.
Well, he told Bill Stevenson at halftime that they have a lot to show people across Canada, and they don't want to let up.
Good kick by Dave Brown to Joel Baldwin, 23. Baldwin ducks down and gets close to the 35-yard line for the GGs. And I'd just like to remind everybody that on Monday night, we've got a CTV special for you. It's the second national driving test called One for the Road. Watch for that. And College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. The GGs need some points, lots of them. They trail 38-0 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Rick Zemich, who was an all-star this year, started for the GGs at quarterback. He has given way to Yvon Granger, and Granger trying to get some points on the board because the Bears have not only been outstanding offensively, but they've shut down Ottawa impressively. Pass is complete to Joel Baldwin, and he'll grab about 4 yards. Rick McGee moved up quickly to make the stop for the Golden Bears.
Say, when you see the inside safety coming up that quickly, you know the Golden Bears aren't dropping off that much. They're playing this game tight all the way. Defensively, they may not be gambling with blitzes, but they're certainly not dropping off in any kind of a premature prevent defense.
Second and 6, and Granger drops straight back. Fires over the middle. A catch is made by Baldwin, and he has a GG first down at the 52-yard line. Roman Lowen, number 43, made the tackle for Alberta.
Ben, I really enjoyed Jim Donlavey, the head coach of the University of Alberta's explanation of what his defensive philosophy was. He said, read it, flow, and swarm. It's a different way to explain it.
Right. First down from their own 52, and Granger is on the move again. Fires. Donnie Burns makes a good catch. Took a hit from Rick McGee the moment the ball got there, but still hung on. And the GGs are at the Alberta 45-yard line.
I'll tell you, Yvon Granger only came in late in the second quarter. Hasn't seen that much action, but I like the way this young man delivers the football. He's starting to roll out now. That's generally his style. Obviously a little more comfortable doing that than he was dropping back. The GGs are starting to put something together.
Granger sets up the screen for Baldwin, but he was wrapped up by Rick McGee, and a play that could have gone a long way was snuffed out because of the good read by McGee, and he simply refused to let go. Then he got some help from Larry Nagy.
Well, that's an excellent read when you get a defensive halfback coming up, making initial contact behind the line of scrimmage. It appeared to be very well set up as Baldwin moved out to his right side, but McGee just did an excellent job defensively.
Dave Upton was there for the block, but just couldn't get a piece of him, Frank.
Granger throws. Burns has it and has another first down for Ottawa U inside the Calgary 35-yard line. And again, Burns is a big target. He's 6'4", 185 pounds. Let's look at him.
On the roll, quick release on the break, no real pressure, and again, the good arm of Yvon Granger.
Rolls to his right. Good job of scrambling. And wide open is Burns. Touchdown, Ottawa U. A fine play by quarterback Yvon Granger. His scrambling enabled Don Burns to get wide open for a 33-yard touchdown.
And I'll tell you, a great deal of composure by Granger in his second year of college football. as you see him come scrambling back to the left at this point, Joey Baldwin is at about the line of scrimmage to the extreme left. He was wide open, but Granger looked upfield to see where the better man was, Burns, because of the more favorable position, and he went for the touchdown as opposed to the short gainer. Good composure by this young quarterback.
Andy Katz with the point after. It is good. The Ottawa University GGs get their first touchdown of the ball game. It is now Alberta 38, Ottawa University 7.
Granger certainly showed his ability to move with that football, Mike, and you mentioned it of 2 plays previous, his ability to roll out to the outside, gave him a little more time to throw. This was almost a broken play, which the GG scored on, as Granger really was rolling out to his right side and couldn't find anybody.
Baldwin, you'll see at the top of your screen, is just backing off now. He's the man that was on the line of scrimmage. Granger could have thrown to him at that stage, but went upfield. I don't know, Frank, if the GGs can come back from a 38-7 deficit. You wouldn't expect so, but I'll tell you, it was a good drive and a good play by Granger to get them on the board.
Well, 5.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter as Glenn Music 19 is joined by Sean Keogh deep, but the ball goes short to Terry Cook. And Cook gets it to about the 40-yard line, which is where the Golden Bears will take over. Robin Stafford was down to make the stop for Ottawa U.
Coach Cam Innes trying to exhort his players to come on now, to use that 78-yard drive as the impetus to get a little defense together now to try to stop this tremendous Golden Bear machine.
Straight back, fires over the middle. The pass is complete to Mike Wolfram, and Wolfram gets a gain of about 5 to the 46-yard line. Paul Timler, 41, and Keevan Loves, number 51, are there to make the stop. Well, Michael, you're just back from Ireland a few short months ago. Keevan Loves, would that be an Irish name? I know Kevin is an Irish name, but Keevan...
John Keogh I can answer, but Keevan Loves I'm not certain about.
I'd be sure Keevan is at least.
Look out. Kennard goes down for the first time in the ball game, and I'll tell you, the GGs are fired up now. Keevan Loves came from the right side. There was nobody there to pick him up, and for the first time in this ball game, that old thing called momentum appears to have swung over towards Ottawa U.
And one of the great things about college football, Frank, always the fact that these are young men, 18 to 22 years of age in the main. All enthusiasm. That's what's so much a part of it. You can see Ottawa starting to get a little bit of that back now.
Well, Mike, you said they should take a few more chances, be a little more aggressive defensively, and that's exactly what they did.
Joel Baldwin, 23. Kevin McAllister, 32. Back to receive this punt from Dave Brown. High punt, and taking a chance was McAllister, but he squeezed it, got out over the 40 to about the 43, so the GGs will have pretty good field position with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left to play in this third quarter.
A great play by Kevin McAllister, fielding that in the air and taking a chance, as you pointed out, Pat, but something a good punt return man must do. Had he allowed that to bounce, the field position could be a difference of anywhere from 10 to 15 yards.
And just a reminder that tomorrow night, CTV's W5 will come your way coast to coast in Canada. As Yvon Granger brings the Ottawa U GGs out over the ball, first down at their 43. The motion comes right, and so does Granger. Good protection. Throws, wants to go deep. The catch is made by Paul McLaughlin, and an interference call would have been called anyway. The GGs are fired up, and they are down to the Alberta 36-yard line.
Well, a big effort by the receiver, Paul McLaughlin. We didn't see too much luck with the receivers in the first half, but now it's starting to turn around, Frank. We'll get the call first.
This is interference for sure.
Pass interference, number 23, Alberta. First down.
Chisati, number 23, was guilty of the interference, but ball was caught in any event.
Giovanni Chisati. It is first down, Ottawa U at the 35. Granger looks, throws, the pass is complete to Joel Baldwin, and I'll tell you, I'm impressed with this kid Granger because he could have run, but instead he sought out his receiver, got down to the 15-yard line, and he was finally stopped there by Gord Syme, but an excellent play by the Ottawa U quarterback and receiver. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. University of Ottawa GGs with a first down at the Alberta 15. Granger over the middle to Gaftopoulos. And Gaftopoulos is down at about the 2-yard line. In college football, if you go down, you are automatically there to stay, whether or not you have been touched previously.
Boy, what an excellent offensive maneuvers the Ottawa GGs are coming up with. It appears that the Alberta Golden Bears are laying off just a little bit now, Mike.
But I'll tell you, they're doing a great job of rolling and putting a little more pressure on that Alberta defense, Frank. Something that Granger is used to, but they weren't having him do in the first half when he went in.
Granger rolls out of there. Keeps it himself. And scores the touchdown. Yvon Granger wanted to put the ball in the air when everybody was covered. He just put his head down and drove in, and the University of Ottawa GGs have scored their second touchdown within the past 2.5 minutes.
That excellent call because Granger was throwing all the way. Look at him. He wants to put that ball in the air. Good defense by the Alberta defensive back, so he says, I'm going in with it myself.
And now what was a complete rout at 38-0 has tightened up considerably as Andy Katz will try to get Ottawa U their 14th point. And he does. Well, we knew they could score in a hurry, and they've displayed that now.
Let's see if we can pick up number 22, Mike Gaftopoulos, who helps out in allowing Granger to get in the end zone. Right there, a nice block on number 55, Rolly Miles, who is trying to hustle back from his nose guard position, but Gaftopoulos has something to say about it, and Granger got in.
All right, we've got 2 minutes, 37 seconds left to play in the third quarter. They have scored 2 touchdowns in the last 2.5 minutes. Their defense came up big. They held Alberta when they had to kick the ball away, and now can they do it again?
Let's remember this, Pat, that the Alberta Golden Bears had a 35-0 halftime lead. 28 of those 35 points were scored in one quarter, the third. So the GGs aren't out of it with this kind of a dramatic comeback.
Ball is kicked down to Terry Cook again, and Cook is wrestled to the ground at about the 40-yard line. So now the pressure, although not severe because they still lead by 24 points, is on the University of Alberta Golden Bears, who have been simply outstanding this entire football game. As Mike said just a moment ago, they ran up a 35-0 halftime lead, and obviously when you're ahead by that much, maybe you lose a little bit of your concentration. We'll see if they've got it back right now. Pass was deflected. Good play action fake. He was looking for Sean Keogh, but it was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Let's go to Bill Stevenson.
All right, and Don Burns, who scored the first touchdown, and suddenly this club is coming alive, Don.
Well, in the halftime, coach came up to us and he said to us, listen, it's a 60-minute ball game, and we didn't execute the way we wanted to, and if we're going to win a ball game, we have to execute. This team's up, and by no means is it over.
Well, you've been big in the fourth quarter in some of your games, too.
Well, we're a team that doesn't want to quit. We never will, and we're going to keep going, and this game ain't over till that final bell goes.
All right, Don Burns, good luck and congratulations.
Big down right now on 2nd and 10. The pass is ruled incomplete. Rob Tallyho felt he made the interception, but it is ruled an incompletion. Nevertheless, Ottawa U's defense is held, and Alberta will be punting.
If we can see from our end zone camera the defense, you'll see the GGs playing 9 people right up and coming with virtually 9 people. They have their cornerbacks and their safety in behind. Tallyho, who had a tough first half, just about coming up with a very big turnover there, but the ball hit the ground just before he got it.
And there was no question about that. A good call by the official, as Dave Brown will drop back into punt formation to kick it away to Joel Baldwin, 23, and Kevin McAllister, 32. A minute 30 left in this third quarter. It is Alberta 38, Ottawa 14. They move the ball away from the middle of the field because that's the greasier part.
Percy Grendel, the offensive center for Alberta, just requesting that the ball be wiped off by the officials.
Good look at Dave Brown as he stands at about his 27-yard line. Another good kick. High. Comes to Baldwin at his 30. He tried to get outside, but could not. Down quickly was Gord Syme to make the stop for Alberta. But the GGs, who have scored on their last two possessions, will now take over at their 35 with a minute 10 left.
It's a big series for this Edmonton defensive unit, because the Alberta defensive unit, I should say. That, as you say, they've been scored on twice in a row now.
And they were both long marches, 74 and 75 yards. Granger quickly to McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets about 6 yards. He'll be stopped at about the 42-yard line by Robin Lawrence, number 18, the cornerback on the left side of that Alberta defense. Boy, it's turned into be a super afternoon, though, hasn't it?
Outstanding. And the way the GGs are coming back, they're really making a game of it. A nice call by Yvan Granger. Right now hitting the wide receiver because the corner was laying off a bit.
Ball is spotted at the 41, so it is a gain of 6, 2nd and 4, Ottawa. Granger gets some early pressure, and as a result of that pressure, he underthrew the intended receiver, Joel Baldwin. So the Golden Bears defense comes up big when it has to and forces Ottawa into a punting situation. Would you gamble here?
I don't think so, Pat. Things are going the Ottawa Ball Club's way right now. Just because you didn't move it this time doesn't necessarily mean you have to gamble completely. They can get a few more points on the board rather quickly. They can still make a game out of it.
You're giving up the game if you gamble and fail, aren't you, Frank?
Good punt by Katz. And it chases Lawrence all the way back to his 17, and then the ball is fallen on by Glenn Music.
There's a good reason for not having gambled.
Right, the Bears are now deep in their own territory at the 16-yard line as we have come to the end of the third quarter of play. The score is Alberta 38, Ottawa 14. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. 38-14 over the University of Ottawa. GGs take over possession at their 16-yard line. Ottawa U has done a good job defensively in this second half. They were blown out in the first 30 minutes. But they've come back a little bit as Sean Keogh, the ball carrier, gets to about the 20 for a gain of 4. Peter Huber moved in, number 21, from his inside safety spot to make the tackle.
Ottawa continuing to use a very tight defense, Frank, obviously expecting the Golden Bears to try to run, particularly now that they're into the fourth quarter. Are they going to play that kind of tight-fisted defense? Surprised that Tenner doesn't try to hit that post a little bit more, because he's had so much success against the Ottawa corners.
Huber particularly is playing uptight, Mike.
All right, it is 2nd and 6, Alberta, the ball at their 20-yard line. The give is again to Keogh. Big first down as he crosses the 25 to about the 27. We said it was a first down. If it isn't, he's within inches. Brian Mullally, 55, and Robin Stafford, number 40, were there to make the stop, and it is, in fact, a first down for the Golden Bears, and an important one. Gord Renich comes back into the ball game. Frank Boras goes out. And that's only the third first down of the second half for the Golden Bears. Ottawa U has 7. The give is to Pollock, and Pollock is nailed back at the line of scrimmage on just a great play. Let's see who the number was. Number 55, Brian Mullally, the linebacker. Bill Robinson.
Sorry. All right, Glenn Music, top defensive back for the University of Alberta. Glenn, what's this Ottawa club doing out there that makes them successful in this half?
I think what they're doing is just basically they're trying a bit of razzle-dazzle and a little bit more ball control than they did in the first half. Just a little more optional thing instead of being conservative like they were in the first half. I think it's working just a slight bit for them, but I think we're starting to come back now to a regular style of defense.
Has the change of quarterbacks helped and bothered you?
It's made no difference to us, really. I think a little bit on the field, the footing in the field, it's just made a little bit of difference for us.
Thank you, Bill. This is Sean Keogh, and Keogh tried to get outside. The ball comes loose. Ottawa U has recovered. And the GGs will have a first down inside the Alberta 20-yard line. I believe it was Bernie Gillette, number 45, who picked up that loose ball and has given Ottawa U certainly new life here with a first down at the 18.
From the domination by the Golden Bears in the first half, it's been a question of good play, alert football, and a few breaks for the GGs in the second. One of the breaks coming right now, and Bernie Gillette being very alert to get on the ball and get possession for them.
That's the first turnover by the University of Ottawa GGs that they have forced this afternoon. And they're helping right now their all-Canadian safety, Mike Gallagher, off the field. He doesn't seem to be badly injured, probably twisted an ankle or something of that ilk. But what an opportunity right now for the GGs to get back into it.
This could be one of the really major comebacks in the history of Canadian intercollegiate college football. What an opportunity for Ottawa.
Ranger's pass very nearly caught by Don Burns, but as he was falling, he couldn't squeeze it with the coverage by Robin Lawrence. But a good throw again by Granger. He put it in there. Unfortunately, Don Burns couldn't hold it.
The thing I like about Granger, he appears to be equally effective rolling left as he is when he goes to the right side. Taking a look at work on Mike Gallagher, the outstanding deep safety for the GGs. Forrest Kennard, who would like to get back on track.
Ottawa's completed 14 of 21 passes for 198 yards as Granger puts it up for Burns. And it is no good. There was good coverage down there by Robin Lawrence, who also got some help from Glenn Music. And the pass ball's incomplete. It is 38-14. Alberta out in front. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. Alberta 18-yard line. Granger throws. Touchdown on a wonderful catch by Paul McLaughlin. Oh, what a perfectly thrown ball by Yvon Granger. A super catch by Paul McLaughlin, and this is what college football's all about.
Boy, I'll tell you, you won't see better football, Pat, because it was not only the great offensive display that you talked about between McLaughlin and Granger, but let me tell you, Glenn Music had excellent coverage on McLaughlin. Had it not been a perfect pass low where Music couldn't get a hand on it, he would have been able to knock it down. Well played all the way around.
The point after by Andy Katz is good, and with 11 minutes and 42 seconds left to play in a game that appeared totally out of reach at the end of the first half, the Ottawa U GGs have come battling back. They've narrowed the gap to 17 points. Don't laugh. It was 35-0 at the half.
Unbelievable. What a performance by Granger.
Well, there's a look at that touchdown march. 3 plays. The first 2 were unsuccessful, but boy, was the final one the big one.
I only feel badly for those people who felt at halftime that it wasn't worthwhile again, because this has been one of the most entertaining halves of football I've seen.
I couldn't agree more, Mike. Rick McGee, or excuse me, Andy Katz will kick it away for Ottawa U. Bounces down to about the 30-yard line, covered at that point by Elwin Warbeck, younger brother of Joe Warbeck, formerly of the Edmonton Eskimos. And now the Golden Bears have got to put a little bit of offense together, I think, because the GGs are certainly coming on in all aspects of their game.
Forrest Kennard called such a smart game in the first half. Let's see how he tries to attack this tight-fisted defense that the GGs is throwing up since about midway through the third quarter.
From their own 30-yard line. They give it to Sean Keogh. He was met right in the hole by Robin Stafford, the linebacker on that side, number 40. And they contained his advance to about 2 yards. Dave Pagnuti, number 77, the defensive end, was in to help out as well. I wonder if maybe they're getting a little bit too conservative.
Could very well be. I think maybe, too, it's just a question of momentum, though, Pat. I mean, the word is overworked. We know that. I mean, it's a fact of life in any sports contest. And certainly the younger you are, the more of a factor it seems to be. And this is what happens in this college game.
It is 2nd and 8 from the 32-yard line. Kennard is going to put it up. He's going deep to Asenko. Oh, what a catch. Asenko with what may well be the biggest catch of this second half by the Alberta Golden Bears, all the way down to the Ottawa U 41-yard line, with Brian Towers providing the defensive coverage.
Pat, you absolutely can't have any better defensive coverage than this. Watch Towers, number 12. He's all over Asenko.
Towers doesn't look to the ball, though, Frank.
He just didn't have time, Mike. I don't think. The ball was just thrown absolutely perfectly once again.
A gain of 37 yards as we take another look at it.
Towers is playing a numbers game. He's been on Asenko throughout the second half.
The ball is at the 41-yard line of Ottawa U. Sean Keogh is met by Mike Gallagher, who was blitzing from his safety spot. Well, Gallagher guessed right. And the Alberta Golden Bears did not read that safety blitz. Consequently, when Keogh came up the middle, Gallagher was right in his face. Frank Boers comes in. Gord Runich comes out. And the Bears have a 2nd and 11 from the Ottawa U 42.5-yard line. The clock, however, now becoming a big factor in this game. 9:25 left to play. Kennard with a good play-action fake, going deep for Dave Brown, and it is no good. Rob Tallyho, the corner on the right side, number 24, on the coverage.
You saw Tallyho slap his hands. He did a great job on the play. He just felt in reflection that maybe I could have had an interception, and how big that could have been for us. In that sense, he's right, but he still made a great play getting over there to prevent the completion. The Golden Bears will now have to kick.
Let's go to Bill Stevenson.
And Paul McLaughlin, who made the great touchdown catch. Paul, tell us about it.
Thank you. Well, we knew we had to strike right away, and so we went 3 strikes at it, and we were running a crossing pattern, and the post was open, and it was there.
And you still think you can win this game,
Yeah,
Paul?
I do. I think we can. It's time.
Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Dave Brown punting on 3rd down for Alberta. Puts it into the end zone to Joel Baldwin, and Baldwin will concede the single point. Well, I think that's a good move.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
It gives Alberta 39 points for the afternoon, 39-21. And if you've just joined us, it was 35-0 at halftime for the Golden Bears, who looked so awesome that we had suggested up here among ourselves that maybe this was going to be a complete rout of something in the order of 50 or 60-0. But I'll tell you, we obviously underestimated the GGs because they have come battling back. And a touchdown here would really make it entertaining and interesting till the end. Yvon Granger has been the man of the hour for Ottawa U, though. Granger going deep for McLaughlin, and he did a good job to rip it out of the hands of Glenn Music, who was up for the interception.
It's one of the few throws that Granger hasn't looked really good on, but I'll tell you, you've got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line of the Ottawa GGs. Are giving him a lot of time to throw the football. His backs are also helping protect that young quarterback, and he's shown that he can deliver it.
Incidentally, Kennard's last completion that went to Asenko established a College Bowl record. He's now passed for 304 yards. And I'll tell you, Yvon Granger has been impressive, too, since he's been in there. He dropped straight back this time. Fires. He was looking for number 75, Craig Walker, but he overthrew him.
He slipped when he tried to deliver that football, Pat. That was one of the few times that field conditions have been a factor in the ball game.
And so we've got a timeout on the field with 8 minutes and 16 seconds left to play. It is Alberta 39, Ottawa 21. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. Golden Bears defense would not allow Ottawa to move. So on third down, Andy Katz will be punting for the GGs. Oh, that's a good punt. Robin Lawrence has to go back to his 26. And Lawrence is forced out at about the 38-yard line. And so now time is the key factor from an Ottawa U point of view. They fail by 18 points with only 7:54 left to play. Obviously, they need a turnover.
Well, you saw Forrest Kenner just conferring with Jim Lazarick on the sideline. What should I do, Coach? Should we go for that post again? Let's see whether he does, because that's been their big play.
Ottawa U has a number of all-stars defensively. Boyd Young, Kevin Lokes, Mike Gallagher, and Peter Huber were all conference all-stars, and they've got to come up big right now. From the 38, Canada's going to put it up. I like this. He's going deep, intending it for Mike Wolfram. But it was over his head with Rob Tallyho providing the defensive coverage.
How's that for entertainment, though? They're not sitting back on that lead. They want to keep possession of that football.
I'll tell you, Ottawa GG's played it well defensively. I was watching them. Their inside safeties were playing up tight the way they've been showing their defense through most of this second half. But on the snap of the ball, they just flew back, almost anticipating that Kennard was going to try to go deep on them, and they gave pretty good coverage.
Yeah, I think the fact that Alberta's only scored 4 points in this second half is more to the credit of the Ottawa defense than it is to any offensive philosophy change by Alberta.
Here they come with a safety blitz by Gallagher, but he can't get the quarterback, who throws successfully to Dave Brown, and he will have a first down.
Oh, he's a super throw on the run.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, watch this, though. A great block by number 28, Rick Polich. He did not get a big block, but Mike Gallagher, number 20, comes through on the blitz. Polich just got a piece of him that prevented him from getting to Kennard. He seems to be down right now on one knee. Apparently bothered a bit by what contact he had with Gallagher, who just appeared to fly through unmolested as he came across the line of scrimmage.
Rick Polich, as Mike mentioned, is down on one knee. Martin Pardell is out onto the field momentarily. Rushing into that lineup is number 18, Rob Lawrence. As Rick Polich, who's had a good afternoon for the Alberta Golden Bears, comes to the sideline.
Ottawa 16. Rushing yards, Alberta 79.
Well, we've got 6 minutes, 56 seconds left to play in the game, and it really has been two different games. Alberta came out and just blew Ottawa right off the field in the first 30 minutes, went to the locker room ahead 35-0, and now Ottawa has dominated this second half. They lead it 21-4. But overall, the important score is 39-21 for Alberta.
You're an alumni of where, Pat?
It is 1st and 10. Alberta, as Kennard keeps it himself, and may have suspected that Ottawa would really be coming, and maybe that quarterback sneak would go for big yardage, but Dave Pagnuti was there to make the tackle.
I'll tell you, the Ottawa defense, the one area in which they've shown some strength is against the run. I believe the Golden Bears are somewhere in the neighborhood of about 75 yards rushing on the game, well below what they've averaged coming into it, into the College Bowl contest itself. They average per game something in the neighborhood of 175 yards rushing.
Well, everybody having a good time at the College Bowl watching the Alberta Golden Bears with a 2nd and 8 right from midfield. Kennard gives to Sean Keogh. Keogh dives across the Ottawa U 50 to about the 49. He'll be short of the first down. Dan Wolfenden, number 16, was there to make the tackle.
Say, Jim Donlevy might think about going for this. It's about a yard. They're able to get it. That's pretty well the end of the game for the Ottawa GGs, as we are now under 6 minutes. The Golden Bears can get another sequence together, or at least continue this sequence.
Mike, I'll be honest with you, I'd kick it away, because you're going to get absolutely bad field position for the Ottawa GGs, and with 5:45 remaining, they still have to put three majors on the board.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what they're going to do as well. Dave Brown and the punting unit out on the field. Ottawa sends back their 2 punt returners with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the ball game. We hope you've enjoyed it. I'll tell you, the 3 of us have really had a ball. And I am very, very much impressed with what I've seen from a Canadian college football point of view. Some outstanding athletes. Baldwin and McAllister, 23 and 32. Back to receive. Ottawa came with a full charge trying to block it. Baldwin takes it in the end zone, goes down on one knee. So the Golden Bears have now reached 40. It is 40-21 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the ball game. Just like to remind you that we've got big happenings for you on New Year's Day. We'll have the Rose Bowl followed by the Orange Bowl right here on CTV. And that seems like a far piece off, but it's closing in on us.
Absolutely.
Here we are.
Kind of like pension time closing in on you, right?
Thanks, Michael. From their 35-yard line, the GGs need lots of points. They give to Mike Gaptopoulos, and he bangs out over the 40 to about the 42 for a gain of very close to 7 yards.
Now, I find that a bit of a strange call.
I do.
Let's see where they spot the ball. Put it at the 42, so make it 2nd and 3, Ottawa U. Clock is running with 4:35 left in the game. Good catch. I believe that's Gaptopoulos. And if it is, regardless of who it is, they've got a first down over the 45 to the 46. Ron Frank made the tackle, but that's the 8th catch of the afternoon for Mike Gaptopoulos.
Well, one of the reasons why they're going to McLaughlin and Gaptopoulos so much, Glenn Music is playing man-to-man against Don Burns, and of course Syme is pretty well controlling that inside, to which Joel Baldwin usually goes for his receptions.
Rajay throws to Joel Baldwin. Baldwin was able to evade the first tackle and get to about the 53-yard line. Mario Balzan, 45, made this tackle for Alberta. The game will be about 6 or 7 yards. With 4 minutes left in the ball game, and Alberta apparently on their way to another College Bowl championship, but we had a flag down on the play.
Holding number 52, Ottawa.
That's the first holding call of the ball game. It goes against Giulio Petrilli, who is a conference all-star for the GGs. But doesn't that tell you something about the coaching of both these clubs? That's only the 4th penalty and the first holding call.
I'll tell you, it's been a game that's had obviously an awful lot of fervor to it. Both clubs coming out, Alberta with the edge of the first half, Ottawa the second. But despite that, as you point out, Pat, it's coaching. It's discipline is what it is. That's why there's so few penalties.
Grange had nobody open. In big trouble right now. Fires. A pass comes, a flag comes down on the play as the pass is complete to number 31, Chris Spratt.
But there is a penalty marker on the play.
As they're sorting out the call, we'll take a look at Granger. We've seen him scramble a great deal in this second half, at times with tremendous success. He went to the left, back to the right. He finds Spratt, but unfortunately there wasn't much of an opportunity for Spratt to turn it into anything. He really just got back to the line of scrimmage. And now we'll get the call.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 65, Ottawa.
Well, the ineligible receiver downfield was Warner Miles, the offensive tackle. So it pushes the GGs back to the 27-yard line. They've got to get to the Alberta 48 for a first down.
First and 30.
Burns and McLaughlin are flanked to the bottom of your screen. The pass is picked up by number 16, Frank Alberta. Their third pass interception of the ball game, and that really does it from an Ottawa U point of view, and a tremendous job all the way around by the University of Alberta Golden Bears.
A desperation throw by Yvan Granger, who's been outstanding in this second half of play, but that one was a bit of a lame duck, Pat. It was coming directly to us in the press box. It seemed to float so high and hang up for a moment. I thought it was coming in here. Frank Alberta did a good job of being able to react underneath it and, of course, give the Golden Bears possession.
Well, it's been a most entertaining football game. And now in is Jamie Crawford, the quarterback for the Golden Bears. He hands it off to Sean Keogh, who gets to about the 43 for a gain of a couple. And what a job Forrest Kenner did in quarterbacking this Alberta club to this victory this afternoon. It is 40-21 Alberta over Ottawa. College Bowl 80 continues in a moment. The Alberta Golden Bears are going to win the Vanier Cup as College Bowl champions 1980. We also know that Forrest Kenner, the quarterback, has won the Teddy Morris Trophy as the most valuable player in the game, and we'll tell you the Labatt's offensive and defensive players in just a moment. It is 2nd and 9 for the Golden Bears. Jamie Crawford, with his first pass of the afternoon, puts it up. Dave Brown had the ball, and then it was stripped right out of his hands, and so it will go as an incompletion. Rob Tallyho was the man who stripped him of the ball. Let's go to Bill Stevenson.
It'll be tough to find a happier man than Frank Silverta, who missed 7 games with a shoulder injury and just got back for this one and made the big interception. Nice reaction, Frank.
Thanks. I just been looking forward to this game. When I got hurt 7 weeks ago, I just told the guys I'll be back to the College Bowl.
It's a nice way to end it.
Oh, I know. It's just I've been looking forward to it all week and just building up to it for 7 weeks. It's great.
Congratulations, Pat.
Well, the Labatt's offensive player of the game is Peter Ashenko, who capped 3 touchdown passes, and the defensive player of the game is number 71, Gord Syme, the All-Canadian defensive back of the Golden Bears. So they make a sweep, and justifiably, boy, they put on a performance this afternoon. Dave Brown punting on 3rd down, hangs it up not too deep. And Joel Baldwin takes it out over the 20 to about the 23. So let me just run through those trophies again. Most valuable player in the game, quarterback Forrest Kenner, wins the Teddy Morris Trophy. The offensive player of the game, the Labatt's Trophy, goes to Peter Ashenko, and the Labatt's defensive player of the game goes to Gord Syme.
Pat, I wouldn't question any one of those awards. Certainly Forrest Kenner is the man who stood out most in my mind. I would say offensively, Ashenko certainly was outstanding. Their offensive center, Percy Gendel, the way he neutralized Boyd Young, had to be given some consideration. Glenn Music had to be given some consideration defensively, along with Gord Syme.
Don Burns takes in the pass from Yvan Granger and gives Ottawa a first down up around the 34-yard line. Let's take a look at Don Burns, who's had a good afternoon himself.
Don Burns has had a pretty good afternoon, but Music generally has been on him. They've now changed their coverage around for the latter part of this 4th quarter because time is virtually running out on the GGs, and Granger is continuing to take advantage of that shorter pass.
Granger fired it out to McLaughlin, who went right through his hands, so it'll bring up the 2nd down with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to play in the ball game. It is Alberta 40, Ottawa 21.
You know, Pat, I think looking at the second half of play and the way that the GGs came on, you know that they're a better football team than they appeared to be in the first half, which is not to take one thing away from the Golden Bears. I think it was simply a matter of the one club came out, was a little bit hungrier, a little bit more prepared for it. The GGs got caught flat-footed early and never really recovered until the second half of play.
From their 34, the GGs have a 2nd and 10. Granger drops straight back. Throws. The completion is made for the first down up around the 45-yard line by Joel Baldwin, number 23.
I think whatever way you cut it, you're going to have to look at the Golden Bears having somewhere in excess of 400 yards offense, I would imagine, by the time this is over. And even the Ottawa GGs, who had an abysmal first half, at 130 there, I would think they're going to be close to 300, so you're going to have about 700 yards in offense.
At least. Don Burns makes the catch, and they rule he was out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you.
I thought he got his feet down, personally.
I thought he was all right, but let's see if we can pick it up again. One of the advantages of television, Don Burns appeared to be conscious of the sideline. The official was right there, and you could see how close he is. Well, he says his toe is on the sideline. I would have thought it was in, but, I mean, that's how close it is.
Well, a minute and 42 seconds left to play in the ball game. Ottawa 2nd and 10 from their 46-yard line. Granger throws. It is caught after it went through the hands of Ron Frank. McLaughlin made the catch. What a play, Mike.
What a play, and I think Nick Volpe was in the huddle because he went to McLaughlin this time. The big play defensively by Frank, the alert offensive reaction by Paul McLaughlin to get the tip.
And McLaughlin has been impressive in this ball game. He's caught 6 for a total of 68. Baldwin has 7 for 95. Yevtopoulos has caught 8. So they've distributed pretty well. As we look at Yvon Granger talking things over with head coach Cam Innes, the GGs can't win the ball game, but I know they'd like to get another score. They have a first down at the Alberta 53-yard line.
Well, the whole point of college football is to play with enthusiasm and pride, and that's what the GGs are trying to reflect right now. They want to show that they're deserving of the 4th place ranking that they have in Canadian college football, that it was not a fluke that they beat the 2nd-ranked team, the Acadia Axemen, last week.
Well, Alberta was first-ranked virtually all season long, and they showed this afternoon that they were full value for that #1 ranking. They are the best team in Canadian college football, and Ottawa U certainly has to rank #2. Granger delivers. McLaughlin has another first down to about the 38-yard line. GG's with their hurry-up offense. Clock is stopped because they have to move the yardsticks. Ottawa has completed 21 of 44 passes this afternoon, but they've been a totally different ball club with Yvon Granger at the controls. Granger throws. It is tipped away neatly by Glenn Music, number 19. He was reading touchdown on that one.
Oh, it was the error. He's had an outstanding game defensively. He really has. Let's take a look at Don Burns. He's the man that Glenn Music has been responsible for. Burns has caught a few, but he hasn't caught the big one that Ottawa's tried to deliver to him. Pat, we were talking earlier about the rankings. In the United States, they have the mythical rankings. It's simply by the pollsters. But here in Canada, what a great advantage it is to have the rankings and then to see all these teams coming together and the system of playoffs that they have developed. I think it's been a great thing for Canadian college football. Is deserving of a great deal more attention than it has received. It's now getting that kind of attention. It will only gather momentum as time progresses with it.
Well, that's an excellent point, Mike. And it certainly is a tribute to the way the CIAU has set up their system right across the country. Okay, we've got a minute, 21 seconds left to play in the ball game. It is 2nd down Ottawa from the Alberta 40-yard line. Granger throws. And it went right through the hands of Paul McLaughlin, number 25, and very nearly picked off by Gord Syme.
He's returned one already for a touchdown. All Canadian Gord Syme. Yvan Granger is seeking a timeout.
Well, they'll have a 3rd and 10 from the Alberta 40. On a 3rd down previously, they struck for a touchdown, Granger to McLaughlin. But right now, they'd be quite content, I'm sure, to get the 1st down and keep this march alive and see if they can't make the score a little more respectable than it is right now. See Granger talking things over on the sidelines with the coaching staff. Ottawa U with a 7-man staff, and most of them are former GGs trying to help out the alma mater. Let's just run through their names, Mike. Jim Colton, he was the former quarterback with the club. Jim Clark, Connie Kozak, Mike Balenko, Jamie Barisi, Julian Hanlon, and Hugh Gallagher. And they did a fine job in getting their club here to the College Bowl final, just as the Alberta Golden Bears staff did such a magnificent job in taking their club to the college championship. So this is it. It may well be the final offensive play of the year for the GGs. Granger going deep for McLaughlin, and it is batted away by Gord Syme with good coverage back there by Glenn Music. The pass was intended for Paul McLaughlin, but that's it for the GGs offensively as the Golden Bears come out to take over the football at their 40.
Paul McLaughlin just really trying to run a sideline pattern and get deep on Glenn Music, but you can see the coverage. Syme comes over 71 to knock it away. Music almost got a hand on it, Pat. As outstanding as Forrest Kennard was offensively, I think this entire secondary, principally though Glenn Music and Gord Syme, have been a major factor in this game. There hasn't been a great pass rush by either club, save and except for those few instances of coming with an all-out blitz. But the secondary of the Alberta Golden Bears has been just great.
Well, Jamie Crawford, who's going to see some College Bowl experience, is in now for his 2nd series of plays as the ball was handed to number 25, Frank Cunningham, for his 1st carry of the game. As the coaching staff of the Bears want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to get in this championship final that they will long remember, to be sure. We're inside 1 minute left to play in the College Bowl, and it has really been entertaining. Boy, I've had just a super afternoon watching these young men. It is to Cunningham again, and he gets a 1st down for the Golden Bears across his own 50 to about the 53-yard line. Frank Cunningham. Now some of the college students are trying determinedly to rip the goalpost down, but the Metropolitan Toronto Police Department will not allow them to do so. We've got just 35 seconds left to play in the ball game. It is Alberta 40, Ottawa 21. If you joined us late, it was 35-0 at halftime for Alberta. And that was enough for them to win their 3rd College Bowl championship. This is the 5th one they've been in. And again carries, crosses midfield to about the Ottawa 53-yard line.